What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. In this video, I'll be showing you some of the very best posts from r/AmIOverReacting over the past couple of months, including some really crazy stories about toxic relationships. Now, don't worry, normal videos with brand new content will be returning tomorrow, but just for a little bit of context, over the past weekend, I was in Valencia to run the marathon, and I'm extremely tired right now, and honestly, I just need to have a couple of days of relaxing. So if you don't mind, just give me a couple of days just to fully reset, let my body recharge. I'll throw some videos up on screen right now if you're watching on YouTube of me running the marathon, and some pictures as well. It was a great few days, but yeah, as you can imagine, I'm pretty knackered right now. Those of you that have run marathons in the past will know that it has a massive toll on your body, not just like physically, but also mentally. Come to the end of a big training block. And I went quite quickly. I got 3:06, which is a new personal best for me. I'll get sub 3 one day, maybe in the next one. But yeah, going to take a couple of days just to relax. So please forgive me for this episode. But tomorrow I'll be back. So don't worry. In the meantime, enjoy this, relax to some crazy toxic relationships, and maybe it will make you feel better about any toxic relationships you've had in the past, or you'll just go, what on earth am I listening to? Oh, and also, if you do want to know what I'm up to in my personal life day to day, I do sometimes post on Instagram, stories especially of what's going on. So if you're here for me as well as the Reddit content, then head on over to Instagram. I'll link it down below. If you're not sure why there's not been a video on a particular day or anything like that, the answer's probably over on Instagram. I'm probably doing something else that is requiring time or effort. I'd love to be able to make a video each and every day on the channel, but right now it's proving quite challenging with all the other stuff that I'm doing. But yeah, don't worry, my focus is very much on Redditor, and you'll see over the next month until we get to the new year, there'll be a video posted every single day. I just need a couple of days just to calm down and reset. Love you all. Let's get into this one. Am I overreacting to think that this is cheating? I found these texts between my husband and his co-worker. Here is some context. My husband and I have been dating for 5 years and just recently got married 6 months ago. I've met this co-worker. Her and her boyfriend worked at my husband's company, so we went on a double date over the holidays. But shortly after they broke up and her boyfriend got laid off. I guess my husband saw this as his opportunity. Also, these texts were in his recently deleted, even though the last message was from yesterday. So he was definitely trying to hide it from me. I mean, there we go. The fact that that is the case, I don't even need to read these messages, and I think I know what the probable, outcome is going to be. Why would you delete messages that quickly if they were platonic and fine? I mean, you just wouldn't, unless you were hiding something. But don't worry, everyone. We're gonna have a look at the messages. Okay, so she said to him, arriving back here, but you're welcome. I'm sorry I couldn't give them to you again. He then says, I've never seen anyone look so freaking pretty while having a mental breakdown. Lol. Love it. Lol. Not your fault. Flirty is what I will say. Don't mention it. I heard you crying and was completely confused. Like, did I break her camera? Lol, but seriously. Office cute. Don't tell HR I said that. Interesting. No, it's okay, she replied. It's totally not your fault. I think management is just on a power trip, to be honest. But that's just my opinion. Okay, pretty standard messages from her. You know how to work our angles. Lamau, good. I always thought you were cool as anything. Heads up, if I start having a bad day, I'm going to need a selfie for motivation. Asking for pics, pretty normal. I'll try, but no promises. Selfies are a rare and hot commodity. Got to put that degree to use somehow. My chakras were all kind of crossed. But I appreciate the kind words. You're so sweet. What a load of shit. Yeah, I mean, for me, this is cheating. Now, I have a pretty low bar for what I count as cheating. Some people think that it's only cheating when it's physical, and obviously nothing physical's happened here. But I actually arguably think that emotional cheating is worse. I mean, it's not really though, is it? But I don't know. In some ways it is. And this is definitely emotional cheating. Like saying that another office worker looks good over text messages of the opposite sex, and then saying, yeah, I'm going to need a selfie for motivation because you look good. It is cheating. I don't think you're overreacting at all. What was the question? It's not cheating. It's not. You're right. And I guess with that information, you do what you want. I mean, the fact that your husband deletes the messages is, as I said in the intro, that's more than enough information. Am I overreacting? My partner doesn't text me back in a timely manner. Interesting. Me and my partner have been together for a year and 3 months now, and I always get into arguments with them about not texting me within a timely manner, like within 3 hours. However, they don't seem to see it as a problem because they think it's normal. But what I'm having trouble understanding and accepting is how are they so busy to where they can't text me within 3 hours? Or even just tell me they probably won't be able to text me back. I would be fine with them just telling me straight up and stuff. I have an anxious attachment style, and I always get angry when they keep doing it. They say it's a habit, and it's starting to make me more angry because why is that habit destroying our relationship? By the way, we're in a long distance relationship, but we've met in person before. For example, they went to the gym recently and they hired a personal trainer, which was new. Then they left me undelivered for 6 hours. I was angry because they could have at least told me that they got there or that they were done, but they just fell asleep after. I was worried, but I was just sort of prosecuting them for leaving me undelivered for 6 whole hours. It's getting so frustrating, and it's making me stressed when they say I'm a military partner for just asking for stable communication. I'm just so stuck on what to do because this is literally our only line of connection. The picture shows two things: the timestamps and the desperation. We did call at around 1:10 p.m. and then they called me at 11 p.m, approximately their time, EST. I'm MST. I'm just getting frustrated because is this normal? Their friends say I'm overreacting and that I'm the one that's in the wrong, but I just believe that what I'm asking for shouldn't be that much. The friends part made me really mad because it makes me feel like I'm overreacting when they don't know the trauma I've been through as a child. I just need advice or insight from anyone, please. Thank you. Okay, here are the texts. Monday, 10:17 a.m. Morning. Then at 1:02 p.m, I'm awake now. Then at 5:28 p.m, are you alright? And at 7:53 p.m, I give up. Now, I feel like this, without the context of the calls, would be a little bit concerning because, look, someone's allowed to be not to be on their phone for a whole day. That's completely fine. But you'd want like at least one message a day. I think the important thing here is that this is a long distance relationship. So there is no face-to-face. Like there is no, I don't need to text them. I'll be back after work and see them, whatever. So this is the only line of communication. So if there was no phone call, I'd say, yeah, that is a little bit concerning. I think the main thing is you guys need to just work on your communication as well and come to a middle ground and yeah, work out what may work for both of you. If you have an anxious attachment style, then I feel like if you know that they're not going to call you, they're not going to message you throughout the day and then they'll just call you at one point, or you have like a time each day where you call, or every other day or something, then that'll be all right. But this, with the context of the phone calls that were at 1:10 p.m, right, and then at 11 p.m, so twice in a day, I think that's too much, my friend. So morning, you've not got a text until they then call you after this message, which is fine. Like you've had a phone call, you've had your contact. Then you get another phone call in the evening. I mean, that is more than enough, isn't it? Like, you probably just have different communication styles, and I think they've said they don't want to text as much, and you clearly do. Maybe, like, it sounds weird because, you know, 20 years ago this wasn't a thing, but I think your texting style and your sort of online presence and how you use your phone can potentially be quite important for any particular couple, any particular relationship. Because if one of you is like, no, I want to text all the time, all day, which is fine if you both want to do it. If the other one's like, no, I don't want to be on my phone, I don't see the point in messaging all that much because there's not too much to gain from a text conversation, then that might not marry up and it might not work out for you guys. I think in this situation though, you OP are actually overreacting a little bit, and you've got to sort of let her breathe because she's called you twice and you're still making this post. I think like 2 calls in a day is more than enough. Let's see what people are saying. I think you are overreacting here. They called you twice that day. Yes. Clearly texting is not your only line of connection. Fair enough. It sounds like you're asking your partner to tell you every move of their day, given your examples of wanting to know they got to the gym and when they left. Yeah, that would really annoy me. Like, maybe I'd say, yeah, I'm going to the gym. But like, if my partner messaged me saying, oh, did you make it back from the gym okay? I'd just be like, yeah, obviously. Like, what? Obviously I made it back from the gym. Like, how was the gym session? Yeah, it was good. I don't care for that sort of conversation over text. It's just not like, it's not important, is it? It's just, I don't think I'm gaining anything by doing that. Maybe it's nice to some people. I don't know. It's not stable communication just because you're hearing from them constantly. I agree with that. It's also overbearing. That's the main point. And I'm saying that as a woman who also has/had an anxious attachment style, but has worked through my insecurity through therapy. I mean, one of your texts is literally, I'm awake now. Yeah, how do you respond to that? You say, oh, well done for waking up? Like, it's not a conversation, a text conversation that is going to give you anything, really. I don't think so. What is the point? Like, if you're at work and your partner messages you saying, I'm awake now, and you're mid-work, mid-meeting or something, I'm sorry, but it's not a priority to respond to that. I don't think anyway. I get the anxious attachment style, but have you ever considered that a long-distance relationship isn't right for you? That's a very good point. You can't expect them to cater entirely to your needs while also ignoring theirs. You guys are arguing about this because you're pushing what you want without listening to what they can offer. You're not being fair. Again, they called you twice that day. You've got to learn how to let them live their life while you live yours. What you're doing is not healthy. Great comment. I agree with all of that. What do you think of the comments down below? Because I know that people differ on this. I've actually changed, personally, how I am on text. Like, I used to be a very active texter. And now on WhatsApp, for example, I've turned off my last scene. I've turned off my read receipts. And I feel much better for it. Because I used to get a little bit of that anxiety when you're waiting to hear back from somebody and maybe they've left you on read. Or maybe you've seen that they've been online but they haven't replied to your message. It's very unhealthy, I think. I know a lot of people out there are like that. But I will say that since turning that off on WhatsApp, my life has got better. So if you're considering that, or you spend too much time thinking about what other people are doing on their phone, or if they've messaged you or not messaged you, etc., I would recommend turning off read receipts and last seen. Am I overreacting for reporting my UPS driver who stole from me? Okay, my UPS driver has been a big problem from the start. He would leave the sorry we missed you notes without ever knocking. Oh my goodness, that is the most annoying thing ever, by the way. I cannot tell you how annoying that, I mean, you guys will all know this, but when you're waiting for a delivery, right, and you've got like, it's coming from this time to this time, and you're doing nothing because you're like, I cannot miss this delivery. And then all of a sudden you get a notification or an email saying, sorry, we missed you. And you're like, well, I've been sat by the door. You haven't missed me because I'm right here, bitch. It's very annoying. Anyway, the third time I caught him in the act. I told him, it takes me nearly an hour to get the package from his office and that I work from home. I have him on no less than 4 cameras just fake delivering packages. Now, despite sounding like a Karen, I think I'm nice and I put a snack or drink station out for all delivery drivers. The fact that you've said that you think you're nice makes you instantly not a Karen, by the way, because you are therefore self-aware. Karens are not. Let's have a look at this picture. What's this then? Wow, that is unbelievable. You leave that out for delivery drivers. That is insane. I want to be a delivery driver in your area. That is phenomenally generous. Fair play. That is actually a lovely thing to do. You're definitely not a Karen. I don't mind people taking what they want at all. Most people say thank you into the doorbell camera. Some even say, sorry I took so much. I forgot my lunch and you saved me. That doesn't bug me at all. In fact, I love it. It can be rough, and being on the road and being without food sucks. Well, this UPS driver finally showed up and takes $10 to $15 worth of stuff. Well, screw it. It's technically free. He doesn't even say thank you or anything. He's well aware I'll see the video. At least he left me my package this time. But it gets so much worse. Today he had no deliveries on my entire block, but he drove out of his way to my house, walked up and took 2 energy drinks, multiple protein bars, beef jerky, liquid IV, fruit snacks, Panda chocolate things. I mean, some or multiple of everything. He didn't even have a package for me. Am I overreacting for being absolutely livid about this? Would I be terrible if I reported him? I never actually reported him before for the fake deliveries, and we have the video. Phenomenal scenes. Here he comes. He's not got a package at all. He knows you have cameras, right? And he just goes straight up to your thing. What's he going to take? So that's 2 things he's taken already. I mean, the fact that you have this is unbelievable, by the way. 3 things. A drink. Another drink? Wow. So he's taken 5 things there. 6? Oh my goodness me, he's taken 6 things. I mean, taking 6 things is ridiculous. That really is a lot. He's taking liberties here. He really is, which is a shame because it's such a nice thing that you're doing, but he's probably just got used to doing this. And like, just part of his like daily routine now. I don't know. That is crazy. The fact that he's not even got a delivery for you and he's still done that. Mental. Yeah, people are saying, you're not overreacting. He's definitely taking advantage. He is the reason people stop doing nice things for others. Good for you for standing up for yourself. Exactly. OP says, thank you. The comments are weird so far. I go out of my way to try and be nice, and this cost me not a small chunk of change per month. So to be treated like I'm the villain is a bit odd. Dude showed up to my house with no package, no we don't get along, and took $15 in stuff. That sounds insane and against company policy to me. And maybe the comments were saying, actually, no, like, you leave it out, it's his right to take it. I don't know. I wouldn't agree with that myself. I feel like he knows exactly what he's doing, and yeah, it's that sort of like you have that. Well, I would think, at least, I would hope that, you know, you'd have that sort of, yeah, unspoken rule with drivers that say, I'm helping you out here, you know, deliver my stuff. And then I know it's a tough job. So, you know, have some stuff for free. I mean, that's a very nice thing to do. But this guy, despite the fact that I think he knows that, is just doing what he wants. I would report him. I would also have a word with it. I think I'd probably have a word with him first. I'm going to be honest. I feel like I would, if I saw him out and about, I would just want to like just wait for him and be like, as soon as you get that notification on your Ring app or whatever, go outside and say, hey bro, what are you doing? And you'd probably catch him with about 75 drinks, 14 protein bars, and 75 packets of crisps. And he'd be like, oh, sorry, I thought it was free. I don't know. I'd want to actually like speak to him first. But then, you know, if you're not getting anything there, yeah, report him. I mean, ultimately, he isn't doing his job properly either. So you can just report him for that. I don't really think he's stealing because you have just left stuff out there for free and it is for delivery drivers and he is one. So I don't think you could get him for that. But no doubt about it, if he's not doing his job properly and you have evidence of that, yeah, you can report him. I can't believe you're even considering this beastly idea. What's next? You're going to pierce your whole face? You want to completely change who you are and look like some rebellious teenager? I'm seriously losing it over this. I don't care what everyone else says. This is just ridiculous, and I won't let it happen. I won't just sit here and watch you do something so stupid to yourself for no reason other than a dumb idea. Every time you come up with one of these things, I feel like I don't even know you anymore. Why can't you just leave things alone? Do not go through with this. If you really want to do it, then watch. Frickin' hell, that was a bit deranged. It's only a piercing. Am I overreacting, or is the message my boyfriend sent me a bit over the top? Wow. I was thinking about getting my tongue re-pierced as I had it done when I was 14 to 16 and now I'm 18 and I want it done again. I was on a phone call with my boyfriend who's 21 and at the end of the call I told him I was going into the piercing place just to make sure I still had the right anatomy. This isn't the first time I told him I wanted it done again, and then once I hung up he sent me that paragraph 20 minutes later. I find it a bit insane and over the top and he's overreacting, but maybe actually I am, and he's right in a sense. I honestly don't know. I just want opinions on this. Well, let me tell you, that's absolutely insane. All of that for a tongue piercing. A beastly idea. Wow. Am I overreacting? I won't hire someone with 1488 tattoo. Oh, goodness me. For those of you that don't know, 1488 is a combination of numeric symbols, sort of famous within white supremacy groups. I'm building a house and I live in a very rural part of the South. I'm trying to hire contractors to do some work, and one of the workers with the company has a 1488 tattoo on his neck. I don't want to hire racists. I'm cancelling my contract with the company. I would do exactly the same thing. I don't care how good they are. If you're racist, I'm not giving you any money. Simple as that. Okay, a bit of a longer one now. Am I overreacting for threatening to take my sister to court after her toddler destroyed my $2,000 gaming setup because she said I should have baby-proofed my apartments? Hi Reddit. I am a 25-year-old woman and I'm honestly at my breaking point with this one. I need outside perspective because my entire family is acting like I'm Hitler for standing my ground. not linked to the previous post, but a very funny coincidence. So, I am a student software developer and a pretty serious PC gamer in my free time. I live alone in a one-bedroom apartment that I spent years making cozy and functional. I saved up for a long time to build my dream PC setup. Triple monitors, custom mechanical keyboard, ergonomic chair, the works. Altogether, my rig is worth a bit over $2,000, and I take care of it like it's a dang child's. Last weekend, my older sister, who was 30, asked if she could crash at my place for one night because her apartment was being fumigated and her husband was out of town. She has a 3-year-old son, Max, who's, let's say, spirited. I love him, but he's a little chaos goblin. I hesitated, but she swore she'd keep an eye on him and that it would just be for one night. They show up on Saturday afternoon, and immediately it's clear she wasn't kidding about Max being a handful. Within 10 minutes of arriving, he'd pulled 4 books off my shelf, thrown my houseplants on the floor, and spilled juice on my area rug. I tried to stay chill. He's 3. I get it. But I asked my sister politely to please keep him out of my office where my PC setup is. She rolls her eyes and goes, "He's just exploring. He's curious. It's normal." But she closes the office door anyway. Cut to Sunday morning. I wake up to screaming. Max had apparently woken up before his mum, managed to open the office door, and decided that my setup was his new jungle gym. He pulled down one of my monitors, cracking the screen. He stuck crackers into the PC tower's ventilation slots. I'm not kidding. Yanked out my keyboard's keycaps and had coloured on my chair with permanent marker. The cherry on top? He poured apple juice into the tower. Into it. Oh my goodness me, the damage. I mean, I'm sitting here on my setup and I'm thinking to myself, you know, if a kid did that here, I wouldn't be able to make videos for a while. That is the truth. That's awful. For those of you out there that, you know, might be gamers or have PC setups yourself, you know how bad this is. Ugh. When I tell you I went silent, I mean dead silent. My sister comes in, sees the damage, and just says, "Oh no," in this incredibly flat tone, like someone knocked over a cup of coffee. I start freaking out, and she has the audacity to say, "You should have baby-proofed the room if it was that important to you." I lost it. I told her that 1, she knew he wasn't supposed to be in there. 2, this is my space, not a dang daycare. And 3, baby-proofing a $2,000 gaming setup is not a standard requirement for adults living alone. She told me to calm down and said that he's just a kid and stuff is replaceable. I told her, well, she could replace it then. She said she didn't have the money right now, but maybe in a few months she could give me a few hundred. I told her that was not acceptable and that she needed to take full responsibility. She left in a huff, and now my whole family is blowing up my phone. My mum says that I'm being materialistic and should understand that my nephew didn't mean it. My dad said I should have locked the door if it was that important. My brother actually said, "Well, why do you even need 3 monitors anyway? That's kind of overkill." Wait, so none of your immediate family understand this at all? This is the most obvious not your fault, you're not overreacting ever. Like, how is she not taking responsibility for what her kid's done? And yeah, maybe not everyone wants to have 3 monitors. Maybe you could have closed the door. I don't know, lock the door. But maybe you don't have a lock on the door, right? Maybe you like gaming. Maybe you've put loads of money into stuff that you like that you didn't think was going to be trashed because your sister didn't look after her kid properly. That's unbelievable. Anyway, OP continues. I filed a claim with my insurance, but there's no guarantee it'll be covered since it was technically guest damage. I also told her that if she doesn't pay up, I'll take her to court for what happened. Now, I'm getting texts from my sister demanding an apology for, quote, blaming her kid for being curious. I told her I'd drop it if she covered the cost of repairs and replacements, or at least met me halfway, and she blocked me. So, am I overreacting if I take my sister to court over this? Goodness me, you're even offering her the chance to only pay for half of the damage. That is, honestly, too kind. But I suppose in that way, you're saying, look, I get it. He's a 3-year-old. He didn't mean it. I don't think that's important at all, though. She has let her kid do that. That's on her. Are you overreacting? As I said, absolutely not. However, there's an update to come on this one. Wow. Just wow. 4 hours later, I wake up from my nap to this. Thank you guys. It'll take a bit for me to read all of this. My sister still has not unblocked me, but her husband reached out to find out what happened. I'm sorry I don't have more to tell yet, but I'll update again when I do. Seriously, thank you for the insights, everyone. My head is a lot clearer now. There were thousands of comments left on this post. Update 2. Hey guys, my sister's husband reached out as mentioned earlier, and we're working out a solution if possible. He's been really understanding, as have all of you. Also, to clarify the office situation, my 1-bedroom apartment is on the smaller side, so the landlord converted an old ex-clothes cabinet into a makeshift office. It's weird, but the building is from the 40s, and I guess they had to get creative with the space with an old tenant or something. So it's the living room, my sister and her kids slept there, and the kitchen, I slept there, and the office. Thank you for all the support and the award. I really don't have the words for how nice people have been in both DMs and the comments. Now, from my point of view here, you are well within your rights to sue, because you need this money, right? Like, it's not on you. It's not your fault that this damage has happened, and it is actually someone else's fault. You know, it's a shame that it's your sister, but if she's not going to even meet you halfway, and as I said, that's a really kind thing of you to offer, then yeah, sue her. The rest of your family, ridiculous. Like, just because they're not interested in the things that you're interested in doesn't take away from the fact that you are owed that money. Say your dad, OP, had a really nice classic car and your brother trashed it. Maybe you don't care about classic cars, so you could just say to him, well, why do you need a classic car? Just get a little, like, rubbish second-hand car. It does the same job. You can drive around. It's not about that. It's about the fact that something was damaged, which is your property, and you are owed the money. So sue, I say. Am I overreacting, or is this insane 3 dates in? I, a 24-year-old woman, blocked a guy who was 32 I went on 3 dates with after he kept showing signs of concerning behavior. I got emails from him after I blocked him through text. The screenshots are from his latest email. Things that he did that were a bit concerning to me. 1. Suggesting I move closer to him, which costs $700 more per month. 2. Suggesting that I quit my job when I just started my career because I work 60+ hours a week and can only go on dates once a week. 3. Wanting to tag along my family vacation to China. He brought this up multiple times despite me refusing. 4. Arriving more than an hour early on our dates and being upset that I am not reciprocating by also arriving early. I always arrive on time, sometimes 5 to 10 minutes early. 5. Upset over my hanging out with my friends one time on a Friday night. And 6. Blowing up at me for not responding for 1.5 days after my purse was stolen and typing paragraphs about how I ghosted him, how he never liked our dates, and how he felt relieved. Okay, before I even get into the emails, I think we know the answer, but nonetheless, this is probably going to make me laugh, so that's why I'm definitely reading them. Read my side of the story. Here we go. You're making arguments for me that I didn't make. I mentioned these suggestions to prove to you that I want to spend time with you. I did not say that I expect you to carry out these suggestions because some of them you will probably need a lot of time in order to make a decision. But since you mentioned them, I will clarify my position on them. In rough order of expectations, most reasonable to least reasonable. Number 1, make an effort to spend more time together on a short date. This is reasonable. Probably don't have to say this because this should come naturally if you like someone. Remember, they've been on 3 dates. Number 2, I push for you to spend more time with me outside of Saturday. I think this is fair for both sides. 1 day is really not quite enough, so I'm going to push for more. You're busy, so you push back. This is harder to resolve because I think both of us have a point here. As for friends, I think your argument is fair if you have ample time for your relationship. But if you only have 1 day a week for your partner, then maybe it's better to spend 2 days with the partner than splitting 1 to 1 days between partner and friends. The difference between 1 versus 2 days can be huge. And you're basically saying that you prefer a low quality relationship so that you can have friends over a relationship that might actually work. You can't have it both ways. You can't fault me for advocating for myself here. That is a great point, guys. You can't be in a relationship and still maintain friendships outside of that relationship. It's just never going to work. How is that ever going to work? It makes me upset. People don't understand that. 3, trip to China. I'm not demanding much of your time. Only any free time as needed. You can be with your family most of the time. You can be with your family. That's nice, isn't it? That he's letting you be with your family. I'd hide in a hotel nearby if you'd like, if you don't want them to see me. I'm okay if you don't cater to me. I will cater to you on your China trip. You'll be having your family trip with me on summon. I'm not kidnapping you from your family. What are you saying? Most of the time, you'll be with your family. I'll just be hiding away in the background, waiting for you to message me, then I'll be there in 2 seconds. Pretty normal. You can spend all sleeping hours and probably most waking hours with your family / relative as well. What a weird thing to say. Married couples don't always stay together on trips. Yeah, that's because the other person has something to do or doesn't want to go. When the husband is insistent that the wife cannot go with him on a long trip, won't you say that it might be a bit of a red flag? There has to be a very legitimate reason. Okay, how about it's a family trip and I've been on 3 dates with you? Seems pretty legitimate. How am I trying to be manipulative when I'm okay with being a low maintenance traveling partner here? I don't understand it. I don't want to fight you on this. If you still don't want me to go, then I won't go. See, look, he's a nice guy. Actually, he's probably an r/nice guy, being completely realistic. Sorry, how long is this? There are still like, oh my God, how many points are there? 4. Suggest you to move close in or closer to me. I already said I'm happy even if you move to the BCG apartment. I wasn't pushy at all on this. Secretly, I really want to push for you to move in with me though. I thought it's a win-win. Yeah, after 3 dates, bro. 5. Suggest you quit your job. I ask only after you said you're really stressed out from it. I felt that it was one of the better conversations we had, and I respect your decision on this. 6. Come super early to date. I never actually suggested this to you, but this is evidence that I want to see you. The fact that you're there isn't enough evidence that you want to see them. You have to be there ridiculously, almost pathetically early. Makes sense. This is something small but very unreasonable. Look, I always tell you that you can come whenever. Take your time. I'm early. I just want to check the nearby place out. I don't think I've ever rushed you in text. Even the time when you're late to Galleria, I said it was no issue. I never suggested this to you. Regarding you not responding because you lost your wallet, I'm okay with your explanation. But is it also reasonable for me to assume that something went wrong since something did in fact go wrong? I went with the wrong conclusion due to feeling overwhelmed. Are you okay, right? Regarding snacks and gifts, am I supposed to be impressed by your snacks when we've sampled some of the finest dining that Houston has to offer? I really appreciated the little ghost though. I really like the little ghost. Regarding asking you to be my girlfriend, I want to do it before the moment is ruined by something else. I want to wait till a special moment to ask you out, but without props, I don't think I can pull it off. I am not a smooth operator. Sorry, this guy needs props to ask you out. What do you mean by props? Like spinning plates or something? Respect. I want to see that. I'll just ask you out next time bluntly if you ever give me a chance. I can ask you now on email if you don't mind. Yeah, that'd be good. Holding hands. My hands are a bit shaky and I'm embarrassed to hold your hands because I think you would notice. This guy's 32, by the way. Hug? Yeah, I really like it. I don't want to give up. Will you unblock me? How about no, you weird cat. And now for our final post of this episode. Am I overreacting? I am a 34-year-old man, and my girlfriend, who is 36, left me over the chicken jockey scene in Minecraft. Hey everyone. So I'm laying here heartbroken, all because of the movie last night. I really wanted to surprise my girlfriend, so I took us out to the Minecraft movie. I bought 3 large popcorns for myself, and I got her one. She was confused why we needed so much popcorn, and I told her it was a surprise. Then, when Jack Black said the words chicken jockey, I did throw all the bags everywhere, but not out of hatred, just to be a part of the Minecraft fandom. My girlfriend completely freaked out on me, even though others also celebrated the chicken jockey scene, and I thought we were just having fun. I've tried saying sorry, but now our 5-year relationship seems to have ended all because of one bad move. Why would she do this to me? Obviously, it was a small prank and they have lots of staff who can clean up popcorn. I was having an absolute blast, waiting in anticipation with all my popcorn until the scene showed up. I thought she was going to think it was so funny too. Sigh. So like, what do I do? Now guys, I'm going to be honest, I don't actually know about this trend. I don't know how I've missed this, but somebody is saying in the comments down below, this is the dumbest new trend yet. Wasting good food and making cinema employees have to clean up your mess for no reason. I mean, yeah, without really knowing what the trend is, I would say that chucking popcorn everywhere and then saying, oh, it's all right, there are lots of people employed to clean it up, that's their job, is pretty disgusting. So yeah, I would probably leave someone if they did something like that and were like, well, someone else can clean it up. That's a terrible attitude. Now, you have been with her for 5 years, which is a long time. And I'd probably say that after 5 years, is this enough to dump somebody? Probably not. But then again, like, it shows such a poor attitude to life and other people in general. And it's also just not that funny. I mean, let me look up what this is. Okay, so it's just people, from what I can see, sort of just like having a bit of fun with it, shouting along with the movie, you know, iconic moments. Obviously, everyone that's played Minecraft knows about a chicken jockey being an extremely rare mob spawn. But can you not just shout it and not chuck popcorn everywhere? That seems dumb, because when you're affecting other people, then that's not worth it. So to be honest, this actually might be the first post I've ever seen where someone actually may be overreacting because your girlfriend was well within her rights to leave you for being an obtuse clown. So there we go. Someone that actually was overreacting. Unbelievable. Am I overreacting for demanding to be paid after wearing something inappropriate to babysit? Hi, I am 15 and I've been babysitting this family for over a year. They are more on the conservative side and a lot more religious than my family, but they're generally nice and I love their kids. I didn't receive payment from them the last time I babysat, so I reached out, and they're now saying they will not pay me the full price because I was wearing something inappropriate. Just wondering if I'm overreacting. For context, I was wearing a sweatshirt over my tank top, third picture here, and only took it off after the kids asked me to run around with them. I babysat from 4 to 10:30, and I normally charge $15 with a $5 increase per kid, so $20 for 2 kids. Okay, so first of all, here is the image, and no, I don't think that's inappropriate at all to be wearing, even if it wasn't under a jumper. I mean, it's fine, it's just a normal top. Now let's have a look back at the text messages. Hi, hope you had a great weekend. I just wanted to reach out because I haven't gotten my payment from Wednesday yet. I know you guys celebrate Good Friday and Easter, so I totally get that it probably slipped your radar, but if you could Venmo me when you have the chance, that would be fantastic. Hello, May. Dan and I have been talking about it, and quite frankly, we do not feel comfortable paying you the full amount after you wore such inappropriate clothing to our house. The kids love you, and we're more than happy to give you a second chance, but we cannot pay you more than $50 after you wore that outfit. Wow, I had no idea you guys felt that way. I'm so sorry I made you uncomfortable. I just wanted to be in something flexible to run around in with Sarah and Eliza. That being said, $50 honestly does not feel like enough money for 2 kids and 7 hours. I understand you do not feel okay paying me full price, and I'd be willing to do half of what I normally charge. Wow, that's exceptionally nice of OP. Let me just do the maths here really quickly. You normally do $20 per hour, so what's that? $140 roughly? $130? Yeah, 50 is... it's not enough. That's under half. And the fact that you've even said like you're willing to do this in the first place, go to $70, $65 is wrong in my opinion, but it shows you're a very nice person. Now, just a few hours ago at the time of recording, we actually got an update to this post. So this is an update to the post I made last night about a babysitting fiasco. First of all, I had no idea it would blow up like that. From the bottom of my heart, I'm so grateful for every single person who took time out of their day to write out a reply. It truly was so helpful. There were over 30,000 upvotes on that post and thousands of comments, as you can imagine. If you didn't see the post, I'm May, I'm 15, and the parents I was babysitting for refused to pay me because they found my outfit inappropriate. So around the same time the post started to blow up, my mum sent out an email to my neighbor / the mother. She never got a response, which wasn't very surprising, as they don't get along very well due to opposing political beliefs and religions. My mum is Jewish, she's very Catholic. A lot of people suggested taking my neighbor to small claims court, but where I'm at, the price of even filing a claim is half the money I would have made, as well as the fact that we live in a small town and my neighbor is a huge member of her church and very popular. I'm not quite sure how to phrase it in a non-high schooler way, so it just wouldn't have been worth it. Anyways, I sent another text, got a response, etc., and the rest of the story is included over the text. Again, thank you so much for all the kind words. And also, a lot of people have asked where I got my tank top. It's from Brandy Melville, the Skylar Stripe Lace tank. Now, this isn't relevant at all, but I have no idea what Brandy Melville is. Well, I didn't until I went to America over Christmas and I saw an unbelievably long line outside of a store. Like, I couldn't believe it. It was so long. And the store was Brandy Melville. So clearly it's very popular. I'm none the wiser, but the tank top was nice. Okay, so here are the texts. Hi, Marion. I apologize for the double texting. I know your kids are on break this week, but you haven't responded to my text or my mum's email. I've been thinking about the last couple of texts, and while I feel awful that I offended you and Dan, we'd never gone over ground rules about clothing. I don't think it's fair for you to go back on your word. I think that it's the best decision for both of us if you pay me in total and we can put this behind us. Great message. Bear in mind as well, this girl is 15. Like, that's a proper message, so fair play to you. May, I've known you since you were a little girl, and it's quite disheartening to see that you've grown up into another version of your mother. Nevertheless, well, they've said neithertheless, which doesn't make any sense, but nevertheless, Dan has Venmo'd you $150. I May replied to this saying, I will take that as a compliment. I think my mother is an awesome person. I received the money. Thank you. Wow, Marion said, you were so lovely growing up, and we always prayed you'd find a sliver of normality among your parents. I do not think we'll be using you as a sitter anymore. Why? Because you complained that you weren't paid in full. Great. Honestly, I don't feel comfortable coming back in your house anymore, considering the way you've treated me, talked about my parents, and attempted to use me and go back on your words. I highly doubt I'll be recommending you to any of my friends who want to get into babysitting. Have a good week. Boom. Roasted. My wife went out to lunch with a guy she met at the gym. I think this is a huge no-no. Am I overreacting? Oh, interesting one. Relationship drama. We love it. I am a 39-year-old man. My wife, who is also 39, and I have been together for 14 years, married for 11. I've been cheated on in the past several times, so I'm very sensitive to any behavior that could be construed that way. That is important context, and obviously your wife knows this. My wife goes to the gym 5 days a week and is always there when they open at 5 a.m. It's a serious thing for her. I personally go 3 days a week, but to a different gym. Needless to say, conversations have been struck up with her by various people for the last 5 years or so. One guy in particular, who is divorced and 15 years older, started being friendly to her a while back. Not sure how long exactly. A conversation arose about a good lunch special at a steakhouse in town, and it became an ongoing thing. You gotta try this pork chop, etc. Well, on Friday afternoon, she went to lunch with this gentleman. And then when she came home, she mentioned that her leftovers were from this place and that she went with a friend. Never said anything about a work friend, so I pressed a bit more for curiosity's sake. She told me what happened and swore up and down nothing happened and that she's not interested in that way. I will say, our marriage has had its ups and downs, but the ups were way higher than the downs. My wife has given me zero reason in 14 years not to trust her. However, the circumstances are quite suspect. What does everyone think? Very, very, very interesting. I think that if she hadn't have acted a little bit weirdly about this, it would have been completely fine. And I don't want to say that you're overreacting because obviously you have your past trauma, but I think, you know, without that context, I would have been like, okay, just settle down. She's just gone to lunch with someone from her gym, which is fine. Like, you know, just because it's a guy who is older than her doesn't really matter. Like, you can be friends with people of the opposite sex, of course. However, when she's swearing up and down that nothing happened and she's not interested in that way, and she didn't disclose who the friend was at the beginning, that's a little bit weird. Now, Opie continued saying, so many comments. I'm trying to catch up, but I have very little time. And this is the important point here. We've had a lengthy discussion about all of this. She didn't necessarily hide it from me, and I didn't have to prod her much at all for her to tell me it was a man from the gym. She's known him for 2 years in passing, and they talk occasionally. She also knows she's never given me a reason to think she's cheated. This time, though, just seemed very sus, and she apologized a lot for forgetting to tell me she was going to do this. She is very scatterbrained and forgetful, so it's not out of the ordinary. Anyways, thank you everyone for the rational, sane, helpful advice. Luckily, I did most of that before I saw all of your replies, so I think we're okay now. Thank you again. Okay, interesting comment here. Unlike others who have replied here, I'm going to go another way and say the boring. You need to have a conversation with her. Because, firstly, she didn't hide this. She didn't lie. She wouldn't have brought home leftovers to put in your fridge to find if she were hiding it from you. Yeah, I agree with that. Secondly, could it lead to something else? Maybe. But then so can work relationships, neighbors, etc. Is she open to having you all meet up for lunch? Not to take over the friendship, but I think both she and he, if he's not being terrible, would not have an issue with you two meeting each other. You didn't say it was your current wife who had cheated, so I'm going to hope it wasn't her. That's a good point as well. I thought that as well. If it's your current wife, things are different, but you've said the whole time she's given you zero reason to believe she's ever cheated, so it must be previous relationships. If after 14 years of her being a faithful partner, one lunch brings up accusations, I can see where she would be mad and frustrated. You are holding her to account for others' behavior. Great point. Thirdly, ultimately, you have been cheated on before, so this is triggering. It should be okay for you to admit that and her to understand that's how you feel, which warrants a conversation about why and what it would take to be comfortable. There's so much here that is context that none of us here can see, so while I get why you're concerned, freaking out about it would be a serious overreaction, in my opinion. Wow. I could not agree more with that comment. And I think, given everything, I would say that you are bordering on overreacting. I don't like saying that because of the trauma of being cheated on, and clearly that's affected you a lot. However, you know, cheating is not that uncommon. And it happened 14 years ago, and it seems to me as if your partner has been faithful to you for 14 years. So maybe you've got to have a look at yourself at this moment and think, you know, should I still be reacting like this? And you can't blame how you're reacting, but I think potentially you could work on it by seeing somebody, chatting about it more, etc., getting over that trauma, because 14 years on to still be this sort of on eggshells when something potentially bad happens, but actually it's just your partner going for lunch with a friend that you don't know about, like, that's fine. It's completely fine. I don't know. Obviously, have the conversation with her, but I actually do think you are genuinely bordering on overreacting here, despite the fact that I don't want to say it. My son just told me he is gay. Am I overreacting? Well, it's an interesting title. Really depends on what your reaction is. Oh no, are you kidding me? You're gay? Probably a bit of an overreaction. Let's hope it's not that. That was just a joke. I, a 52-year-old man, am the father of a 17-year-old son. We're really close. He's my whole world. We've always had a great relationship. He's a typical guy for his age. He plays football, has a good group of friends, and we talk about everything. Or at least, I thought we did. Last night, he came into my room and told me he was gay. He looked like he was going to throw up. He said, "Please don't hate me for what I'm about to say," and then told me. I just froze. I was just so shocked that I went totally silent for a few seconds. When he saw my reaction, he started crying. That snapped me out of it, and I immediately hugged him and told him I loved him over and over again as he sobbed. He kept apologizing, and I kept shushing him and telling him he didn't need to be sorry. We both cried. Now, since last night, I can't stop spiraling. I love my son with everything I have. That hasn't changed and never will. But I'm scared. In our country, these things are complicated. People in the city are starting to accept it more, but we live in a small town in which these things are still very controversial. When I was in high school, there was a kid who was rumored to be gay, and he ended up getting beaten so badly he had to move away. That's all I can see when I think of my son now, and it's destroying me. I don't know how to protect him. I feel helpless. He told me he's not gonna act different or wear makeup or anything like that, but honestly, that just made me feel worse. I don't want him to think that he has to say that to make me feel more comfortable. I keep thinking about stupid jokes I've made in the past, stuff I thought was harmless, and now I hate myself. I think I might have hurt him without knowing it. I don't know anything about gay people. I've never had anyone close to me come out before. I don't know what I'm supposed to say or do. Should I talk to him about boys like I would have talked about girls? Should I ask about crushes, or would that make it weird? What happens when he starts dating? Do I treat it like I would if he brought home a girlfriend? Yes, by the way, obviously. I'm terrified I'll say or do the wrong thing and push him away. I want to be a good dad. I want him to feel safe with me, but I'm overwhelmed and I can't stop thinking about all the things that could go wrong. I keep picturing people being cruel to him. I can't sleep. I feel like I'm failing him already by not knowing what to do to keep him safe. Am I overreacting? I don't have anyone in my life I can talk to about this. I just want to do right by my son. Okay, I can breathe a sigh of relief there. I thought potentially this might be a lot worse and we might have a homophobic father here. But thankfully we don't. We just have someone who is worried about their son because they've seen horrible things done to gay people before. Is that an overreaction? Because you care? Absolutely not. I would say there are a few things in here, a few sentences that I picked up on which are a little bit strange. For example, you know, do I still have the same conversations? I don't know anything about gay people. They're not like a different species. I think it's important to say that. But yeah, this is like your typical sort of 50-plus-year-old man who hasn't really had to deal with these sort of things in his life, but now is like, oh, we're in a different time here, I think. And I'm sure that you'll be fine, OP. You'll come around. You'll sort of like get to grips with the whole situation in time. Just be there for your son. Now, in terms of the jokes, back in the day, let's be honest, you'd be lying to yourself, I think, if you said you'd never made jokes, which I can imagine he said, like, about gay people or using the word gay. I'm happy to say, well, not happy to say, but I'm not going to lie and say that I never have used the word gay as a joke. I have. And I will continue to do it because it's really funny. Okay, that in and of itself was a joke. Sorry about that. But what I will say is this. You should have a conversation with him about that and kind of get an understanding with him, I think. Yeah, just chat to him. I think that's the thing to do. Keep your relationship as open as it has been. Clearly, he was very worried and concerned and anxious about telling you this, but just be your same self, be supportive, and I think you and him will be just fine. Am I overreacting for thinking my boyfriend's messages came from a place of control rather than concern? I am an 18-year-old woman, and I don't post this kind of personal stuff usually, so I've decided to post it anonymously here. If you have feedback, please tell me. So, I sent him a photo of me on my bike, fully geared up. I thought it was casual, but he got upset and said it made him uncomfortable, claiming that girls on motorcycles get sexualized a lot, especially on social media. He doesn't like the idea of people looking at me that way and said I should be more considerate of how it makes him feel. I ride because I love it. It makes me feel free, confident, and strong. I wasn't trying to be sexy or attract attention, but I do see where he's coming from a little. The whole biker girl image has become more sexualized online, and maybe that shaped how he sees it. Still, it felt like he was projecting that onto me, and now I'm wondering, am I overreacting for feeling like this is more about control than genuine concern? Okay, so here we go. You sent an image to him of yourself after asking, you know, what are you up to? Just hanging out. You went for a ride. Now, obviously, this has been scribbled over, but from what I can tell, you look pretty normal, if not 100% normal, right? You know, you've got a helmet on, you're fully covered up, looks like you're wearing reasonable biking gear. That's it. He then says, you really thought sending that was a good idea? Well, you asked what I was doing. You're literally putting yourself out there like some biker chick for everyone to stare at. Wow, that's not what this is. I just enjoy riding. That's all. No, don't play dumb. You know what kind of attention that brings. Tight gear, posing on a bike. You don't think that sends a message? I wasn't posing. I was just sharing a part of my day. It's worth saying at this point that, you know, you're clearly not overreacting, but I want to see what happens because this guy he's got a couple of screws loose. I'm in full gear, riding responsibly. I'm not doing this for attention. It doesn't matter how you think it looks. People will sexualize it. And I don't want my girlfriend being seen like that. What, just wearing normal biking gear, riding a motorbike? Well, then maybe that's a you problem, not a me problem. I'm not going to stop doing something I love because strangers might have dirty thoughts. Exactly. What, so you don't care how this makes me feel? You're choosing a dang bike over my comfort? Yeah, I care, but what you're asking is control. I won't apologize for doing something that brings me joy just because it makes you insecure. You're just going to ignore how uncomfortable this makes me. I'm just not going to shrink myself for your insecurities, is the word at the bottom there. And rightfully so. As I said, this is complete control and your boyfriend is very insecure and yeah, needs to check himself. Am I overreacting? I bought a sweater for my future niece at a farmer's market and my roommates said it was ugly. My sister-in-law is pregnant and I found this sweater for the baby girl at a Mexican farmer's market today. Baby is half Mexican, half Islander. I brought it home and excitedly showed it to my roommates and they called it ugly. I told them they were mean and have been keeping it to myself for the night. They now have me doubting if I should give it to my sister-in-law. Let's have a look at this and I'll be the judge because as you can tell by my lovely white shirt, I am the king of fashion. This looks really nice. I mean, I don't see what's wrong with this at all. If anything, it's like lovely. Super colorful, very original. Yeah, I mean, if I was wearing it, you might question it, but It's for a baby girl. Looks lovely. And the back is also really nice. Like, that's like a handcrafted, super nice thing. Looks pretty comfortable, looks pretty warm. I don't see the problem with that at all. It's definitely not ugly. And also, even if it was, why are your roommates getting involved? Am I overreacting for being hurt that my girlfriend doesn't care about my graduation? In a few days, I'm going to graduate with my BSN. I don't want a big celebration at all, but it's still a big accomplishment for me. I get she wants to think about it all realistically, and we talked about that when she got home, but I feel bad now. I've always congratulated her for her own achievements, and even though we'll still be stretched for time, still be parents, etc., this is a big step in both of our lives. What time do you get home from work tonight? OP asks. Around 8, his girlfriend replied. Why? Well, I was just wondering if we could, go over some plans. Plans for what? Well, for my graduation. Yeah, sure, but why? What do you mean? What plans do you have for your graduation? Lol. I mean, nothing special, of course, but I'm just excited. Once I graduate, so much changes, you know? Yeah, obviously, but not for a long time. Well, our time eases up a lot, though. Of course, it won't transform our lives or whatever, but we won't be as stressed, and you know that. Well, not really, to be honest. I still have to work. We still have to watch the baby all the time. Honestly, I don't care about your... Wow, that has stopped me in my tracks. Honestly, I don't care about your graduation that much. I'll let you go out with your friends if you want to, but I don't think you should be happy at all. That's a sudden change. It's gone from not caring to you should actively not be happy. Wow. What, so you're saying I shouldn't be happy after 4 years of work? Maybe I'm confused, but I don't know what you're saying right now. Look, all I'm saying is that I don't really care that much personally. I'll let you be happy. The baby and I won't stop you. But we celebrated your graduation though. Yeah, we did. But I didn't waste time like you did. Look, you know I want you to be happy, but we have to be realistic. Like I said, you can celebrate with your friends, but in my opinion, it's nothing special. Jesus, what has warranted that reaction? That is brutal. Are you overreacting? No. When I graduated, I was happy. I went to uni pretty much for one reason, and that was to graduate and get a degree, and that's what I got, and I wanted to celebrate that at the end. Yeah, I mean, I didn't make a big song and dance about it, but we all went back to the uni when we all graduated. This is my friends and I. Had a good night out. Like, the graduation was pretty cool. Might find a picture of it if I can and chuck it in here. I don't know if I'll be able to, but if I can, it'll be on screen. And yeah, it was a good time. I mean, you got to celebrate your graduation. That's the entire point. Okay, I've just found the photo, and look, let me tell you something, guys. I'm not always that silly. But in that moment, I was enjoying myself, as a good little graduate should. Am I overreacting for being hurt that my boyfriend is judging me for my past that he already knew about? Okay, maybe potentially similar to the first post in this episode. So here's what happened. My boyfriend was looking through my phone memories and came across an old Snapchat story from when I was 16 to 17. In the photo, I was taking pills and Xanax, and I had marks on my neck. It was taken during one of the darkest times in my life. My dad had just walked out, my mum lost custody of me, and I was living with my granddad in a shared house with basically zero structure. I was at a loss and dealing with trash in an unhealthy way. He sent me the photo and basically said, I knew you went through a bad patch, but I didn't know you were popping pills, doing Xanax, and hooking up with guys. He said it makes him question if he should even be with me now. I get that the image was jarring and maybe even upsetting, but I've changed so much since then. I'm not that person anymore. It hurts that he would use something from such a painful time in my life to judge my character now, especially when he knows the trauma I was dealing with. On one hand, I get that it might be shocking to see that side of someone you love, but on the other hand, I feel like it's deeply unfair to hold my past against me when I've grown and healed so much. It's making me feel ashamed of a version of myself I already struggle to survive. Am I overreacting for being upset about his reaction? Okay, so here is the photo with a pill in your mouth. Can I show that on YouTube? Probably not, actually. So it's been blurred because it has to be for guidelines. But yeah, there's a pill in this woman's mouth, OPs. So your boyfriend has sent this photo to you that he's just found, saying, it might be a shock, but I found this when I was looking through your memories and several other photos. But this is the only one I sent on to myself. I mean, I knew you went through a rough patch, but damn. Yeah, I was all over the place and looking for comfort. You know this? OP replied. It's hard to look at. It makes me question who I'm really with. You were substance abusing and hooking up with guys. How am I supposed to feel about that? Well, I've worked hard to be a better person, and I've never hid my past from you. Maybe for you it just hits different because of the photos you saw. Well, I'm debating on whether I can be with someone with that kind of past. Why would you leave me over something I've never hidden from you? I need someone who sees my strength, not just my scars. Look, I don't think you're the right person for me. Dude, I was 16 or 17 in that. I'm nearly 20 now. I've grown as a person. I've never done stuff to make you question that. My dad walked out, my mum lost custody of me, and I was living with my granddad in a shared house. I was all over the place. I've told you this. There we go. Pretty straightforward one to end today's episode. No, you're definitely not overreacting. And I think I've said this on a few different videos before now, but you've got to see this as a positive, that you are seeing your boyfriend as who they really are at this stage in your life where, you know, you've not been with your boyfriend for too long. You're only 20. You've got your whole life ahead of you. And yeah, you've learned now that this probably, I mean, almost definitely isn't the person that you want to be with long term. It's clear that he already pretty much resented you for it. I mean, we can kind of gauge that. And now that he sees that photo of you, it's probably going to get even worse. I mean, the fact that he's not even had a conversation with you and just sent you the photo and been like, what is this? Like, what are you doing? And it sounds as if you've told him all this before. And I don't know, maybe he was looking for another excuse and that photo is an excuse to break up with you. I don't know. I honestly wouldn't care too much about it and just move on with your life. You're young enough to do that. I also think that I'd be lying, and probably everyone else watching this right now would be lying if they said they haven't done things in their past that they regret. And I don't even know if you regret this period of your life, to be honest. It sounds as if you were going through some terrible, terrible stuff, which should obviously make you do things that, looking back, you probably shouldn't have done, but you're just self-medicating. Like, you can't judge that. And yeah, as you said, that was 3-4 years ago. You're 20 now. It was a terrible situation. You've grown from that. If someone can't see your past as your past and doesn't want anything to do with that, then that's on them. Am I overreacting? My fiance says I'm his angel, but texts another woman she's hot minutes after calling me. The wedding is in 3 months. Do I cancel? I honestly don't know what to think anymore. I feel disgusted, heartbroken, and like I'm living in some twisted double life. Last weekend, while I was away, my fiance kept texting me sweet things. At 10:05 p.m, he messages how much he loves me, then calls me at 10:16 p.m, again at 10:24 p.m, and texts after to say, I love you. But then, literally minutes later at 10:49 p.m, he texts another woman. Did you get home okay? You should have stayed with me. I confronted him. He swore nothing happened, said it was a joke, said he was drunk, said she's ugly and that he'd never cheat. But the next morning, I text him at 9:05 a.m. He doesn't reply. Instead, he texts her at 9:12 a.m. How hot are you in this photo, huh? Was your kid still awake? You should have stayed with me. Then at 9:29 a.m, he texts me, Ole, I miss you already. But as soon as she replies at 10:16 a.m, he texts back instantly. Then calls me for a video chat at 10:25, like nothing happened. And while all of this is happening, he's guilt-tripping me for getting invited by a male friend he knows to hang out with my sister. He claims it was just helping a friend, that he doesn't even remember, that he was drunk and nothing physical happened. He sent me a long email crying and begging, promised to quit drinking, give up his job, move countries, give me full financial control. He even said, I'll be your slave. Wow, what a lovely thing to say. But he refuses to give his social media passwords. I paid for everything for the wedding and he said he wouldn't compensate even though he's the one cheating, and he claims it's not cheating because nothing physical happened. Because of course, emotional cheating doesn't exist, guys. I feel manipulated. I feel sick. I don't know if I should cancel our wedding, which is scheduled in 3 months, or forgive this and move forward. He's saying it was a one-off and he loves me more than life, but texting someone else that they're hot and that they should have stayed with you right after calling your fiance? What would you do? Am I overreacting? And we have the screenshots to prove all of this. Now, I will say at this point, I'm not exactly sure how OP has found out about these texts, but whatever. Anyway, here is an email from your ex now, I'm not sure, but anyway, her partner, fiance, saying, Baby, I know the amount of pain I made you incur. I will never forgive myself for that. Never. It will haunt me for eternity. While what I did was effed up, I didn't cheat on you. I didn't kiss. I didn't dance. It was all kind of a joke of a drunk person. What I've been suffering for the past days is indescribable. I've taken a leave of absence and I'm not going to the office. I've spent hours and hours crying. I've been humiliated by going several times to your apartment and being denied entry. All the doormen were feeling so sorry for me. I've been smoking to manage to fall asleep and feel lighter. I've been taking pills. I can't even watch any series because I can't focus. I can't even focus when I'm trying to work to distract myself. I feel like a POS. I please ask you to give me another chance. I will do everything you tell me. I will move for you, even to Nigeria. I will leave my job for you. I will give you control of my finances. I will give you my location 24/7. I will not go out at night anymore this year. I can even commit not to have more alcohol this year, except for Francisco's wedding. I was going to say, come on. That's one step too far. Francisco wouldn't want that. He's a good guy. I will be your slave. Please, please, please. You have no idea how you're making me suffer for not at least letting me explain everything in person and try to win you back. I will love you unconditionally. I will love you forever. You, your eternal #1 fan. Very weird last few words there. Anyway, there we go. Now let's get into the text messages. I told a fat, ugly girl I had a girlfriend and entertained a short conversation with her because of my friends. Fat, ugly girl. How lovely. OP replied, stop lying. Felipe replied, I'm not lying. And here we go. Okay, here is the evidence. Can I zoom in on this? I can't exactly see what is going on, but OP has sent Felipe, her fiance, an image of what I assume must be his iPad, signed into iMessage while he's been off. Oh, it's not good, mate. You gotta sign out. Come on. If your fiance knows your password, sign out, bro. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but come on. Think about it. Right, I've tried to zoom in. It's actually in a different language, so that's fine. But anyway, you can see the image of whoever this is that's sent a photo of herself and her kid. And yeah, not good. I'm pretty sure that this is Spanish. I really am struggling to see exactly what the words are here, but I can see the word conmigo above this picture, which means with me. I can't really make out anything else. But I mean, OP said that he said you should have stayed with me, and that does mean with me. So, is that debería or something? You should have, or in the past tense? I'm not entirely sure. I can't make it out, but yeah, that is tough. Anyway, Felipe says to this, please delete this. Makes me want to vomit. What, your own cheating makes you want to vomit? He then says, I promise I won't. Everything I do will be for you. You lied multiple times. You cheated with a woman, with a kid, and many more. Nothing can erase that. I didn't cheat. Baby, I would never have anything with a woman, like even if I was single. Well, maybe with other women, you'd be okay. Look, spare me. How would I betray the most beautiful thing in the world with something like that? Doesn't matter. It's over. You're never going to see me, so it doesn't matter. Look, I didn't really. I was the stupidest person ever, but my heart was and will always be with you. If you saw how ugly she was, you wouldn't be mad. You would understand I had no intention because she's so fat and so ugly. I love that you keep saying this. Stop this. Just stop. You did what you did. You don't have to poop on other people. Exactly. Like, you've already done what you came here to do, Felipe. Don't now say that she's so fat and ugly. Like that's you've already hurt everyone enough. Imagine, by the way, you're the woman that Felipe slept with, and you just go on Reddit and you see that they're talking about you, and you've just been called fat and ugly. So good. Okay, sorry. He apologizes. I just wanted to contextualize that you still texted her that she is hot the next day. You don't have to say these things to me. And then you text the next day again and say they're hot, and you'll text them on WhatsApp while you were telling me you're happy that I'm getting back. Goodness me. But I was enjoying talking to her because she was saying very nice things to me that I never hear from anyone. Oh, gaslighting. So good. Have some honor. Oh, and here we go. We have a translation. Okay, so all that detective work I did was for nothing. But here is the... Oh, it's Portuguese. I see. Okay, here's the Portuguese to English. Felipe said to this woman, did you get home okay? She said, on the way home, lots of traffic, sad face, and then there you go. Should have stayed with me. I did my job, guys. I did my job. There's the picture. Good night with a little kissy emoji. I was already asleep. Haha. I got home and woke up. Was she still awake at midnight? How hot you are in the photo, huh? Good morning. Good morning. Did you sleep well? Fine. And you? Yeah. This definitely seems platonic. And then one final message. I'll write to you on WhatsApp because I never talk here. Maybe in the back of his mind there, Felipe was thinking, yeah, I have iMessage on my iPad. Don't have WhatsApp on my iPad. Let's go to WhatsApp as quickly as possible. Anyway, Felipe, you've been found out, my friend. And to answer OP's question, no, you're obviously not overreacting. Your fiance is cheating on you. Simple as that. By the way, guys, before we get into our next post, subscribe if you're new to the channel for more crazy content just like that. Am I overreacting? My boyfriend shamed me over having my hair removed. So, I am an 18-year-old woman, and I've been with my boyfriend, who is 20, for only 3 months. He recently asked me how I'm always completely hairless. I told him, honestly, that I did a full body laser hair removal for nearly 2 years. I got this done when I was 15 to 17. He got weird and literally called me a tramp for it. I was shocked, and I'm not sure how to feel or if I should be hearing him out on this. Was I overreacting? It felt really disrespectful. Let's get into the content. Can I ask you something? Yeah. How are you always hairless? I swear, I've never seen a single hair on your body except for your head. Oh, I did laser hair removal for nearly 2 years. It does grow back occasionally in some areas, but it's always really fine and I just wax it off. Wait, seriously? Like everywhere? Everywhere? Yeah, everywhere except my face. It was a lot, but it was worth it. That's pretty wild. Well, no, it's convenient. Nah, that's just some whore behavior if you ask me. What? You don't spend that much money and time lasering everywhere unless you plan on showing it off. Ooh, what? It makes me a whore because I got my hair removed? I'm just being honest. No, you're being disrespectful. You asked and I answered and you shamed me over it. Yeah, that is exactly what's happened here. Your boyfriend has got to go, but if you're gonna be hairless and you're gonna like have to shave a lot yourself or get waxed a lot, then you might as well do this. What's wrong with that? Am I overreacting? This morning, my friend asked me to bring him to school. We go to different schools that are like 10 to 15 minutes apart, so I left earlier to get to school on time. I waited near his apartment complex for 10 minutes, then by the parking lot right next to it for another 10 minutes. This whole time, I thought he was just getting all his stuff. I was honestly going to wait for him the entire time. But he doesn't tell me he already has a ride. I was late to my presentation this morning, but when I called him, he just didn't seem to care. He's been hella disrespectful to me these past few days, and after this, I just feel mad. Yo, pick me up later for school. Why? Is your car broken or something? Does it matter? You're my friend. Take me. Okay, I don't actually need to read any more of this, guys, to know what this relationship is like. This person, although you may see them as your friend, OP, they don't see you as their friend, I don't think. This is just like a really strange relationship that is not friendly in any way. My car is super broken down too, though. I don't care. Just freaking take me. It just takes 10 more minutes to get me. Yeah, what a great friend this guy is. Okay, just don't be late. I have a presentation. And then at 5 to 8, hey, I'm there in 5 minutes. And at 8, yo, I'm here now. Please try to come out now because I'm parked on a red curb. 5 minutes later, where are you? Then just hold on. Okay, fine, but I'm going to move near the parking lot so I don't get fined. Then 12 minutes later, so by this time you've been here for 22 minutes. Bro, where are you? And then at 8:27, I already got a ride. Oh my goodness. What? Why didn't you tell me? Well, I'm letting you know now. Bro, I'm going to be late. Look, I feel bad for people like this. I really do. People like OP that view people like this as their friends. It's just obviously not a friendly relationship or dynamic at all. I'm quite lucky, I'm going to be honest, that I don't sort of have that sort of doormat personality at all. And I'm very happy with who my friends are. And if someone annoys me or if I don't like someone, I have no reason to pretend that I like them. I just will openly say I don't like them. Like, not necessarily to their face because that's mean, but I'm happy to say that. Like, that's fine. Doesn't really, make me feel bad at all. Like, you like the people you like, and I know some people are nicer than me. But I think it's a strength of mine that I don't sort of like bend over, not in a sexual way, but for other people. I think you got to have a word with yourself, OP. Just read this back through, not imagining it's you, just two random people that you don't know. And you cannot see any semblance of a relationship in terms of a friendship here. I'm sorry. This guy is using you. You've got to just drop him. Am I overreacting? She pooped with me in the shower. Now, just a heads up, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, I have a plugin which changes the word shit to trash, because I don't really want to swear on this channel and I don't want to show swear words. But when you see the word trash here, if you're reading along with me, it pretty much means poop. But don't worry, I will say it as what it is. I, a 22-year-old woman, have been dating this girl who was 21 for about 3 months, and it's been great. The only red flag I've seen before this was she was a bit messy, leaving things without putting them away, including trash. Anyway, yesterday we went to a karaoke club, got super wasted, and she spilled her drink all over us. No big deal, we went to my apartment. We were in the shower. Nothing sexy or anything, we were too drunk for that. But I remember looking down and there was a streak on the bottom of the shower, and I asked her what it was. I kid you not, she said, "Oopsie, I did a poopsie." What? And pushed a ball of poop into the drain with her toe. Oh, that is just vile. I didn't know what to say. I kind of just stood there. This chick really just pooped. I told myself that she was drunk and we could talk about it today. Fast forward to this morning. We woke up and I could not get what I saw yesterday out of my head, and so I tried to keep it light and laugh about it. Maybe try to get it in the toilet in the future. And she goes on to explain that she just feels comfortable with me and doesn't want to hide who she is anymore. I asked if she poops in the shower all the time, and she does. What? I asked if she could please refrain from doing so in my shower, and she agreed. Holy heck, that is mad. I just feel like I can't move past this and look at her the same, and I kind of want to break up with her. Am I overreacting? No. Look, peeing in the shower is one thing, and I'm all for it. Let me tell you honestly, guys. This is just disgusting. It's disgusting. It's so disgusting that it's funny. Yes, that is an immediate breakup. Red flag. Like, you're not getting over this. If someone thinks that that is, like, reasonable at all, then that tells me so much about them as a person that I would instantly break up with them, because, look, you mentioned she's messy. Maybe you don't even know the half of it yet. In terms of hygiene, you've only been together a few months. You're probably just starting to understand these things. If somebody is willing to do that, then what else are they willing to do? Just think about that. It's a no from me. I'm out. That is genuinely revolting. Okay, how is this the title? Am I overreacting for being upset at my girlfriend for going over to her guy friend's house, then making out with him, then wanting to see him again? Okay, it's just getting ridiculous now. I'm sorry. What sort of title is this? I am a 20-year-old man with my girlfriend who is 18. The first text I show here is her trying to gaslight me into thinking she did nothing wrong. The second photo is the text exchange between her and this guy. She claims she will tell him that they're just friends and can't kiss or do anything. But then why is she leading him on? This is my first love, and I'm really, really annoyed by this. Oh, to be 20 again, where this sort of stuff happens and it's not just utterly ridiculous. We made out, and that's all that happened. But you can't tell me not to see him anymore. Josh is my friend. I told you this. I'm allowed to have guy friends, especially ones that I make out with. I'm seeing him again on Tuesday. He said he got me a birthday present, and I'm not going to just be mean to him. Yeah, probably some condoms. I will talk to him. We can't do it again, though, and remind him we're just friends. But, you know, friends that kiss are actually closer than friends that don't. And here are the texts. Oh my gosh. I'm not quite sure who is who here, but somebody on the left has said, I can't wait to see you. I'm going to dress up nice for you two this time. Now, actually, no, I'm sure that is Josh on the left and OP's girlfriend on the right. Oh, yeah? Well, you don't have to, said OP's girlfriend. No, I want to. I'll wear a nice button-up and some slacks. What a loser. Okay, I'll wear one of my new dresses then. You'll look beautiful either way, hun. Whatever you say. Now, I will say this. The word hun. Has any straight man ever said that word? I'm not sure. Now, I'm not saying that just because your girlfriend's best friend might be gay doesn't mean that they shouldn't kiss. I still think they shouldn't. But if Josh is gay, it's slightly different, isn't it? Anyway, he says, what time do you want me to pick you up tomorrow? We can stop by the beach, then go back to my place. I'll order us food and we can relax in my room and watch a movie again. Now, that does sound a little bit Netflix and chill vibe, but anyway, that sounds lovely. Full stop. This is interesting. Like, it's not really flirty, to be honest. It is verging on gay, especially with the "you'll look beautiful either way, hun." That is just a gay sentence. Sorry, it just is. But overall, I don't know what to say to this. Just funny, isn't it, really? I mean, look at this for a comment. She's going on a date and dressing up for him. He calls her hun. She's made out with him. Okay, so maybe this person doesn't think that him calling her hun is gay. Fair enough. Maybe that's just me. What is making out? A simple kiss? All but penetration? God. My friend, you are underreacting. She's actively dating this guy. Yeah, do you reckon? I mean, I don't know. Go and meet him, I'd say. Like, spend some time with him. If he's definitely gay, then just say, "Can you not kiss my girlfriend anymore?" If he's not definitely gay, then obviously just break up immediately. I'd probably still break up anyway, but it is just very funny. Okay, now for our final post of this episode. Am I overreacting? My coworker tried to make me pay for stuff I didn't even order. Hey, so I went out with a couple of coworkers for brunch yesterday to a pretty nice restaurant. It was 4 of us, and before we got there, we decided that we would all split the bill evenly. 2 of my coworkers kept ordering mixed drinks, overpriced, might I add, and even overly tipped the waiter. She got mad at me because I didn't want to pay evenly anymore, since my food and drink only cost $26, and she was trying to get me to pay $65. I was so annoyed because she knows I've been struggling with money recently, hence why I didn't order that much. I did get a little petty, and I told her I wasn't going to cover her shift this Saturday. I just know it's going to be so awkward at work now, but I'm trying not to be a pushover. Did I overreact and make things worse? What would you have done? Well, let me tell you, before even going to the evidence here, the text messages, I 100%, as I sort of mentioned earlier, within reason, I'm not paying for other people's food. Like, okay, if we're all having a similar meal, similar drinks, whatever, which happens the majority of time I go out with my friends, then you don't want to be sort of pedantic and, you know, like split the bill according to exactly what you've had based purely on, you know, maybe it's a difference of a couple of pounds or whatever, or even like £5 or £10. Don't care about that. If it's a difference between paying, what was it, $28 and $65, sorry, $26 and $65, which is a $39 difference, which is about, well, almost 1.5 times the cost of your actual expenditure on that day for that meal and your drinks, then no, I'm not doing that. Just because you guys want to go and have a load of drinks, fair play, by the way. Normally I would do that, but not in this situation, clearly. That's on you, and you've got to be willing to pay for that. I would say it's also a little bit weird that you agree to split the bill before going for the meal. But anyway, now let's have a look at the screenshots. Hey, did you want to send the money by Venmo or Zelle? Yeah, I can do Venmo. How much was it again? One sec. Split 4 ways, it's like $65. The total bill was $256. What the flip? But I only got an entree and a side. That was like $26. Yeah, but everyone agreed to split it 4 ways? Yeah, but I didn't know it was going to be so much. Both you and someone else kept getting drinks too. I'm not paying for all that. And plus, I don't have money to just be spending like that. Even if you did have the money, I don't think it's about the money at all. Even if I was a millionaire, I wouldn't do that. I mean, it depends how close you are with these other people, but no, I wouldn't do that. Like, if you buy stuff at a restaurant, you got to be willing to pay for it. As simple as that. Why the heck did you agree to come if you didn't have money? No, I do have money for my food, not to be paying drinks I didn't even frickin' order. Okay, calm down. It's literally not even that bad. Everyone else already sent me the money. I'm not going to tell them to send me more just because you don't want to pay. Oh, wow. Now trying to gaslight. Please, tell me you're joking. Well, look, I'm not paying all that. I'm just going to send you the $26. Shake my head. Exactly as you should. That's lame as flip. I freaking told the other person that was there that you were going to do something like this. You always do. What? Pay for what you ordered and don't order loads of overpriced mixes. Wow, what a bad thing to do. You literally chose the restaurant and you're over here throwing a female doggy fit about it. If you're broke, just say that. What, I'm the one that's broke? You're trying to have me pay part of your drinks. Oh, and by the way, the other person told me you added a huge tip because the waiter was hot. You're pathetic trying to make me pay for part of that too. No, I didn't. He just had really good service. He wasn't even my type, Lamau. I saw him flirting with the other butt-ugly waitress anyways. What is it with people that are in the wrong and just calling other people ugly in this episode? I kind of love it. You're so pathetic. Oh, I'm not going to take your shift this Saturday, just so you know. I was, but I'm not going to anymore. This is good from OP. This is exactly what that other person who was waiting outside that guy's house for half an hour in his car should have done. Driven off. Done like this, not paid, and not helped this person out. Are you freaking serious? I already told the boss you were. Nope. I think you need the shift since you're so desperately trying to get me to pay for your drinks. You clearly need the money. F you. That is good. That is exactly what you need to do. If this happens to you guys and you're in this sort of situation, don't be a doormat. Do exactly this. Or just, well, I was going to say don't send them any money. No, you have to send them money, but yes, send them the money for what you paid for. Exactly that. And don't bow down to idiotic people like this that are just ultimately trying to bully you. Am I overreacting? One date. One. This was 2 days after we met. And just look at the missed calls. All yesterday, all from the same person. Red emoji afterwards is good to see, but yeah. How many is that? 1, 2, 5, 6, 10, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 20 missed calls. Wow. We went on one date, OP says. It was fun. Enjoyed it. This was 2 days after. I said I was with friends. He lost it. Lost it. I also have 5 voicemails from this person. Yes, he is a male. What, his name's Madison. What? I'm overwhelmed and he doesn't understand why this is too much. First of all, he's a creep. Secondly, he's called Madison and is a man. That tells you all you need to know. Guys, this is r/AmIOverreacting. In that first post, OP, obviously you are not. That's absolutely insane. Stay tuned for some more crazy content. Am I overreacting? A guy I met on Hinge made a joke. Just out of curiosity, OP asks, what is your love language? Then the guy said, what do you mean? And then OP sent a sort of picture describing what love languages are. Get your love languages in the comments down below and try to guess mine. No, seriously, try. The guy said, oh, physical touch, for F's sake. Nice. Mine's acts of service, haha. Oh, yours is acts of service? Then suck it. Okay. Not probably the right time for that. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work. What are you talking about? Mine is physical touch, so I need you to be physical, right? Yours is acts of service. Do you perform? Okay, so perform a physical act for me. You're 29 years old, dude. This just kind of feels disrespectful. All I'm hearing is you're just bad at sucking D. Do you mean bad? Are you okay right now? Yeah, there's a few typos in here from this random guy. And then he just ends with the very mature STFU female dog. But as I always say with these, at least now you know. OP asks at the end here, did I take what he said too seriously or was I okay to just immediately shut him down? No, you were definitely okay to shut him down. Like, I'm all for a bit of flirty banter, don't get me wrong, but like that's just, I don't know. If you're not comfortable with something, you're not comfortable with it. That's up to you. I don't think that was funny at all, really, in the first place, given that you've not even met. Am I overreacting by refusing to let my wife's work husband come on our family vacation? I'm immediately going to say no to that, but let's read anyway. My wife, who is 34, and I, a 36-year-old man, have been married for 8 years and we have 2 kids together. She recently started a new job where she's gotten really close to one of her co-workers. She calls him her work husband and says it's all jokes and office banter, nothing serious. At first, I brushed it off, but over time, she started texting him outside of work hours, laughing at his jokes constantly, and even FaceTiming him once when we were on a weekend trip with our kids. I finally told her it was getting weird, and she told me to stop being insecure. Last week, she asked if he could come with us on our summer vacation to the lake house. She said he has no family around and could use a break. I said, absolutely not. This is our family time and I don't want some random guy tagging along, especially someone she flirts with all day. She got mad and said I was being controlling. Her exact words were, I'm not even allowed to have friends now? I told her, it's not about friends, it's about boundaries. She's still mad and says I embarrassed her by making a big deal out of nothing. So, am I overreacting? No, of course you're not. And also, I don't think you should joke about having a work husband, even if you do secretly have one. I mean, just don't joke about that sort of stuff. It's not being insecure if there are reasons to be insecure, in my opinion. Like, yeah, you don't want to be with an insecure person, but your actions are making him insecure by FaceTiming some random guy from work outside of work time and just, yeah, clearly having a very flirty and weird relationship. Inviting one of your male colleagues on holiday with your family is one of the weirdest things I've ever heard in my life. No, you're not overreacting at all. Yeah, I mean, someone said here, she wants to take her boyfriend with her on your family vacation. That's pretty tough. Really is. Am I overreacting? My dad is slowly poisoning himself and there's nothing I can do. Okay, and what is this here? 1% methylene blue solution. I don't know what this is. Let's see what OP says. Hello all. Before I get started, I want to make it clear I love my dad dearly and want nothing but the best for him. So I'm hoping for the best advice from you all. Anyway, sorry for the rant. I am a 20-year-old guy and I live with my dad who is 40. And as of the last couple of years, he's been on an insane health kick regarding organic products and the types of soap and detergents he uses, which is great. And I'm so proud of him as he's been looking healthier and is more energetic. As of recently, he's been buying and trying to put me onto interesting products that you can't find at your everyday local retailer. And I think it's for good reason. For one, he is trying ivermectin, which is known as a treatment for parasites in humans and animals, and is like a horse paste. That's the one I was iffy on. But the second product he is now using is methylene blue solution. Now, for those who are unaware, like me, methylene blue solution is a dye used for treatments that fall under the category of tissue problems and blood disorder. Now, not only is he taking this product, but he's putting a staggering 15 to 20 drops of it in his water and swallowing it. The last 2 days he said he's felt better, but I can't help but think that this isn't safe. High doses of this stuff is poisonous, and I just want what's best for my dad. He said he's ordering me some, but I think I might just throw it away and pay him back if it's dangerous. Please, anyone in the field, help me out and let me know if my dad is safe to take these products, and if I'm overreacting. Thank you all, OP. Very interesting post, not one that we normally see on this subreddit. I'm now intrigued to see what the comments have to say. I know nothing about this. If you know something about this, drop a comment down below as well. Okay, somebody has said a 2023 paper published in a journal of cerebral blood flow and metabolism reported that methylene blue in similar doses studied by researchers at the University of Texas at Austin, who claimed the compound had memory enhancing properties, led to roughly an 8% decrease in human brain blood flow. Now, I don't know much about human brain blood flow, but that doesn't sound good to me. Other researchers have pointed out that even pharmaceutical grade methylene blue contains impurities, and that industrial grade or chemical grade methylene blue, like that sold as a stain or dye, should not be used in humans or animals. If somebody ordered the wrong type of methylene blue off the internet, they could end up quite ill. And if you search for methylene blue on Amazon, you could end up inadvertently purchasing fish tank cleaner, as methylene blue is also used as an antifungal aquarium disinfectant. Just gonna scroll back up here to the image, which, yeah, was from Amazon. Now, who knows? I sort of believe in your dad to get this right. It does say hail trophin on it as well. I don't actually know what that means, to be honest. Probably the company selling it. Looks kind of like it's for human consumption rather than fish, but I'm just not sure about like getting this sort of stuff off the internet and the effects it's going to have on you. Has it even been that strongly researched? I mean, here is the text here. I mean, this is a good question. Like, what is his reasoning for taking these? And has he explored those issues with a doctor first? Yeah, great. Okay, somebody said this is a 1% mixture. The half time of this is 4 hours or so. A couple of drops a day will do nothing, but still your dad is a weirdo. Yeah, I think that's actually probably the main issue here. He might be all right from this. He might not be. Who knows? You need to sort of understand why he's doing this sort of stuff. Well, I suppose you know why, and he's had some positive effects from doing it, but you've got to let him know the danger of doing this without research and without speaking to a doctor first. Am I overreacting for wanting to uninvite this guy to a bachelor party because of his behavior? Let's have a look at the screenshot first before we see OP's explanation. They say, "Hey there, dude, how's it going? I know you said you wanted to contribute to the fund and we're a week away. Is that still something you want to do, or do you want to just pay for what you take? Makes it a lot harder for us, but it's your choice." This guy replied, "Hey, F-face, I'm going to send you the money now so you can get off my back, you bachelor party Nazi." Strong? Let's get some context. A close friend asked me to be a groomsman for his wedding, and I was honored to say yes. Since January, the best man and I have been planning the bachelor party. Because the groom has struggled with coke in the past and is now clean, we were careful about who we invited. We excluded some old friends still involved with drugs to avoid temptation, and out of respect for the groom and his fiancée, we did include one old friend, let's call him Tom, who still uses, but made it very clear there would be zero tolerance for drug use at the party. He agreed completely. By March, we planned the events: golf, go-karts, bowling, and a night out with a party bus. One friend generously covered a luxury suite, $1,500, and another covered the party bus, also the same amount of money. The remaining 10 of us, excluding the groom and the 2 who paid for the big items, were asked to contribute $300 each into a party fund to cover everything else: activities, drinks, food, and a group wedding gift or refunds of leftover money. I kept everything transparent with an anonymous tracking sheet. Everyone was on board. One person couldn't afford it, and another covered his share. Most people paid early. I only had to remind a couple of people, and they paid quickly. The only exception was Tom. Even though he was one of the first to agree to the plan, when I followed up with him 2 weeks ago, he acted strangely. I let him know we were collecting money, and he still hadn't sent his. He replied with, "I'll send you your money. Relax." I calmly gave him the details and said we needed final numbers by the Friday before the party. That Friday came, and still no payment. I checked in with another friend who advised I just tell Tom that if he wasn't contributing, he'd have to pay for his own stuff. I passed that message along, and in return, I got called an F-face and a bachelor party Nazi. Now, I want to stress, I only reached out twice, politely. Meanwhile, everyone else has been cooperative, thankful, and respectful. We've worked hard to make this a great, low-stress weekend, and being insulted like that makes me wonder if we should even have Tom come at all. To me, it sounds like you've answered your own question. Personally, I think it's one of the most annoying things there is in the world. When you pay for something up front, and by the way, I'm not saying I've never not done this, but I still maintain this. When you pay for something up front, and then other people take ages to pay you back, even though like you've paid for the group or whatever, and you've decided you're splitting it, and you, the one that paid up front and actually helped everyone out in the first place, then has to get onto everyone else or certain people and say, look, I've already asked you once, can you pay me? And that it's on you to sort of remind them when you're the one that put that money up, for everyone else in the first place. That's just terrible, I think. I think a good person will pay back pretty much immediately, and ideally without having to be asked. Like you said, a lot of people paid back early, even earlier than you expected. So yeah, I mean, you gave him a deadline, he missed it. I would just sack him off. I really would. I don't necessarily think that the coke thing is that important. I mean, he's agreed to it. You have to take him at his word. Although it definitely does add to the fact that maybe he shouldn't be coming anyway. But this is the main reason he shouldn't come. Like, if he's willing to do this or not pay at this sort of stage and call you a bachelor party Nazi, then actually, who knows? Maybe he'll bring some drugs with him. You'll say to him, mate, we said you're not allowed to do this. It's the bride and groom's choice. And then he might come back and say, well, why are you being such a bachelor party Nazi again? Let me have my fun. So yeah, kick him out, I say. And now for our final Am I Overreacting post of this episode. Am I overreacting? My girlfriend sent this while she was at work, and I feel upset. OP says, why stress? His girlfriend says, because it's so chaotic. Also, I don't yet know how to handle people hitting on me. This man said, I'm so beautiful. I said, blah, 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 thank you. He had his phone out and said, you got Instagram? And I said, yeah, but I got a boyfriend. And he said, well, okay, so it's just Instagram. I panicked and gave him my Instagram. I'm very sorry. I don't know how to say no to customers. So OP has said, I've not yet responded, but I wanted advice before I possibly overreact. We have a very trusting relationship and never had any issues with this. She works as a waiter and is attractive. I never get jealous, and I've never been overbearing or anything like that. I think communication is important. I just don't know how to respond. Well, from my point of view, this is actually fine. Like, as long as she's not really doing anything malicious, which clearly she isn't, she's just being nice. And also, I can imagine, look, I've not been in this situation, but I can imagine if you're a girl like working a job and you get guys hitting on you, it's just easier to be like, okay, yeah, have my Instagram and then block them later or whatever, or just unfollow them or whatever, than it is to say no right there and then and potentially cause confrontation. The fact that she's told you all about this is the only thing you really need to consider, because it's not as if she's hiding it. She said, I'm really sorry, but I don't know how to say no to customers. She's probably just a nice person and maybe is a little bit shy and doesn't want to annoy people when she's at work. I don't know. I don't think she'd be the first person to give her Instagram to a guy that's hitting on her with no intention of ever following it up just to be polite, is what I'm trying to say. I think potentially you are on the edge of overreacting. I think like an easy message to say here would be like, yeah, no worries, I trust you. Leave it at that, because she's explained it fully. If you say, oh my God, how could you? This relationship is built on trust and I can't believe you've done this, then that would be overreacting. I think you probably didn't even need to post this on the internet. You could have just handled it way better and just said, look, yeah, it's fine, don't worry about it. Try not to do it again, because I do understand from your perspective, you don't want your girlfriend handing out her Instagram to randos. But with the context provided, I think it's completely fine, and you should be understanding. What are people saying down below? She does need to learn how to say no, but as someone who also gets shy and subconsciously avoids confrontation, I can totally see how that happened. Yeah, it's easier to give the Instagram and then block him than reject face to face, risking causing a conflict with a customer. Exactly. Don't blame her. Maybe you could search for some techniques or practice together to help her learn. Somebody else said, you are overreacting. She can simply block him. She immediately told you about it and isn't hiding anything from you. It's completely normal to panic, especially when you're at your job. Chill and thank her for always being so open with you. Get the girl some potatoes or chocolate to unwind from her difficult shift. Potatoes? Potatoes? Why would you get... The point's great. Potatoes. Potatoes/chocolate is the best advice I've ever read in this sub. What's a potato? Why?
Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Get her some potatoes. Can I interest you in some spuds in this trying time? Okay, I'm glad that it's not just me that is confused by the potatoes comment. Funny stuff, but yeah, I'd rather take the chocolate, I reckon. Am I overreacting? My roommate's friends destroyed my stuff while they were drunk. Okay, firstly, a little bit of context. I'd been at my boyfriend's place all day when I came home around 9 p.m. to this. We'll see the screenshots in just a second. Perfume, a plate my grandmother had gotten me for jewelry and stuff, a plant, and a decoration I had were all smashed on the ground. I'm really sorry if the screenshots are confusing. They are texts with my two roommates, so I was trying to make them as non-confusing as possible. I didn't block out the names of the two guys who did it because it would have made the story really hard to follow if you didn't know who had done parts of it. But I'm genuinely just really worked up about this whole thing. I know not that much stuff broke, but I'm honestly just really angry about it. Okay, so here was OP's messages to their first roommate showing the damage. And first of all, as you can see, this isn't just a little bit of damage. This is a lot, right? That plate's clearly smashed. There's perfume on the floor. Can't quite work out what's going on in the second image, but it doesn't look the cleanest. Yeah, stuff's been thrown about, I think is what we can say. OP asks, do you have any idea what happened to my room? I just got back and things are broken on the floor and everything that was on my dresser has been pushed onto my bed. Okay, so that's what we can see in the second image. And one of my perfumes is just smashed on the floor. The roommate replied, no idea. Sorry. I went in earlier to get a hairbrush and everything was fine. Maybe ask Chelsea? But what time was that? At around like 2 p.m. Maybe an animal got in or something. Okay, that's just never ever gonna have happened. Come on. Yeah, I don't see how that could have happened. I'm actually so confused. What the F? I got the plate thing that smashed on the floor from my granny to hold my jewelry and stuff. I'm so upset. I actually have no idea what happened. When I left, everything was fine, roommate 1 replied. And then OP replies, okay, well, I'll ask our second roommate. Hey, do you have any idea what happened to my room? I came home and there's things just smashed on the ground and everything that was on my dresser has been pushed onto my bed. Oh my God, what the F? I have no idea. I left at around 8 p.m. and everything seemed okay to me, the second roommate said. Really? I'm so confused. What the flip? No other part of the apartment is smashed up. It's literally only my room. I've genuinely got no idea. Sorry, girl. Okay, then OP goes back to roommate number 1, saying, our other roommate is saying she's got no idea what happened either. I'm actually so confused. Roommate number 1 then says, well, show me what roommate number 2 said. So OP sends a screenshot and roommate number 1 replies with 2 thinking emojis. Well, roommate number 1 had a group of like 6 people over and they were all pre-gaming. Okay, that is the truth coming out. Then OP goes back to the second roommate and says, did you have people over today? Yeah, just from like 5 until 8 when we left. Why? Well, roommate 1 said you were all drinking. Is that what happened to my room? Like, was someone drunk and something happened? If that's what happened, can you just tell me? Sorry, I didn't know how to tell you. Okay, well, what exactly happened? Because like, what? Okay, I had some people over for drinks. Daniel and Connor were already drinking before they got here, so they were pretty tipsy. At some point, they asked me who my roommates were. So I said you and roommate 1. After I said your name, they just started talking about how weird they thought you were and how you were annoying and they don't like you and stuff. And they were laughing and stuff. So I just thought they were joking. But then Connor got up and started walking towards the bedrooms and stuff. And he asked me which one was yours. And I told him. And he went in there and it was just quiet for like 30 seconds. And then we all just heard stuff smashing off the ground and we went in to see what he was doing. And it was the stuff you sent me in the picture, broken on the ground and all the stuff on your dresser shoved off. And it was Daniel that broke your perfume. When we all went in and Daniel saw what Connor had done, he picked up a perfume that had fallen on the ground and just kept banging it against your wall until it broke. And I tried to get them to stop, but they just kept laughing and saying you deserved it. What's wrong with these people? Eventually, we all left and went out to a club. Wow. Are you being freaking serious? OP replied. I've literally had about one freaking conversation with both of them. Why did you tell him which room was mine and why did you just let him go in? That's so freaking weird. Like, what? And then you have the audacity to lie to me when I asked you what happened. If roommate 1 didn't tell me you had people over, you literally never would have told me. Do they plan on paying me back for the damage they've caused? Multiple of my things are broken. I genuinely don't give a frick about whatever excuse you're typing for them. I want everything they've broken either replaced or the amount of money it makes up altogether. I don't even know if I can go down a legal route with this, but I'm gonna find out. Get me my money, and I'm being freaking serious. Roommate 2 replied, it only happened because they were drunk. They wouldn't have done something like that sober. I don't think they meant for it to get that bad. And I would have told you eventually, I just didn't know how to bring it up. Don't take any action yet, please. Don't go to the police or anything. Wow, your roommate is dumb. I know what I do when I'm drunk and I really dislike somebody that I've met once. I go into their room and smash everything up. No, it's just never a thought that's ever crossed anyone's mind. Doesn't matter if you're sober or you're drunk, like you're not going to do it. The point being, if you were going to do it when you're drunk, they probably would have done it sober as well. Like, being drunk is not an excuse. You don't go suddenly, oh yeah, I've had a few drinks, I'm now going to smash up somebody's room. You would have done it anyway. These people are just frankly horrible, clearly. OP replied, get me the money or I'll send you a list of everything that's broken and they can replace it. I don't care how you do it. Just fix it. You literally didn't even bother to try and hide it. You just left it with everything broken all over the place. And I don't care that they were drunk. That doesn't change anything whatsoever. Exactly. Whatever weird freaking thing they have against me doesn't explain any of this. Roommate 2 said, well, none of us have the money to replace that stuff. That perfume alone is like $150. I don't even know what to do. Okay, your friends came into my room and destroyed my stuff, and you're complaining about not being able to replace it? Look, I texted them and they said sorry. Okay, if they're that sorry, they can say it to my face. Tell them to replace my stuff or I'm going further with this whole thing. Okay, just give me a while to figure it out. Just don't do anything, please. So there we go. That is it. And here is an image of everything smashed up. Yeah, makes no sense to me. How can you be friends with people that after having a few drinks are like, I'm going to smash up somebody's room that I've never met before and then take no accountability for it? Also, how embarrassing for your roommate 2, to just act as if they had no idea what's going on and didn't know the entire time. Let's just go back to when OP first asked roommate 2 what had happened or if she knew what had gone on. They said, oh my god, what the F? I have no idea. I left at around 8 p.m. and everything seemed okay to me. I've genuinely got no idea. Sorry, girl. What an idiot. Anyway, to answer your question, no, you're obviously not overreacting, and I think you should go to the police about this immediately. Yes, you should get these people to, firstly, apologize, secondly, pay you back for everything, but third, this is criminal damage. Go to the police or these people are never going to learn their lesson. What is wrong with them? Also, get roommate 2 to move out of your place as soon as you can. Am I overreacting for insisting my friend board her dog? Hi Reddit. So I agreed to take care of my co-worker / friend's older dog, 10 years old, while she was on vacation for the week. I originally thought I'd be checking up on her before and after work, walking her, feeding her, the typical dog watching duties. She paid me $200 for the whole week, about $28 per day. I charge about $26 per 20-minute drop-in cat sitting visits through AmITheA, so I thought it was fair initially. She left me 8 pages, front and back, of instructions for her dog, wants me to stay overnight with her and pick her up to put her in the bed with me, and freaked out when I told her I had plans for my day off and would be leaving her for a few hours. While I was at work yesterday, she pulled the trim off the door, chewed some of the paint from around the handles, and started to chew on the drywall. Today when I got back from work, she had started to eat and rip out insulation, chewed up and rip out even more drywall, and started to chew through an electrical wire. She's in another country, 8 hours ahead, but would I be overreacting if I insisted she board her dog for the remainder of her trip? I cannot put my life on hold to supervise her pup 24/7. And above that, I can't stand the thought of her dog getting seriously injured or causing any more property damage. What do I say? How do I proceed? I don't have the PTO to call off from work, and I'm certainly not getting paid fairly for the extent of this dog sitting situation. All right, let's have a look at some of these images then. So day 1 after work, and already that is an obscene amount of damage. You can see that, yeah, I mean, if you had to take the carpet up there because it's been sort of destroyed by the dog, there's loads of damage along here, along the sort of the wall and the outside of the door where the dog's obviously just been going at it. I don't blame the dog for any of this, by the way. Like, it's a tough situation, but that is a ridiculous amount of damage. Yeah, that's a close-up there of day 1, and you can see, like, that's going to cost a lot of money to fix. Moving on to day 2 after work. Oh my goodness me. Wow, the dog's like gone through the wall, like into insulation. I don't know, how has it destroyed that much of the wall? That's absolutely insane. Day 2, electrical wire with blood on it. That's very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. I mean, what is going on here? And then, yeah, close up of the possibly eaten insulation. Certainly looks eaten to me. I mean, look at all these claw marks. Yeah, obviously the dog's going to be using its teeth. Insanely dangerous stuff. Day 2, bloody scraps while cleaning. And then finally, here's a picture of the dog and a treat. Yeah, I mean, this one is pretty obvious to me. You've got to get this person. I don't know what you do. Oh, I don't know. Like, obviously, the point is, the dog cannot stay at yours anymore. It's not fair on you. It's not right for the dog, clearly. I mean, this dog is in danger of doing serious harm to itself. And maybe it was unfair of your friend to ask this much in the first place. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, you've got to get it to a doggy hotel or whatever you call it. As for how you actually practically do that with your friend being that far away, I don't know. If you've got any ideas, drop them in the comments down below. But I would just give them a call and say, look, I can't do this anymore. My house has been destroyed. Like, something has to change right now. Or, I don't know. But this is the thing. What is the alternative? It's a shame. Such a cute dog. But yeah, something has to be done. Are you overreacting? No, the dog is destroying your house and potentially will destroy itself. Am I overreacting for not wanting to be a bridesmaid after being handed a weight loss plan by the bride? Wow. Immediately I'm going to say, no, you're probably not. Anyway, let's get into this. I am a 28-year-old woman, and I was recently asked to be a bridesmaid for my college best friend's wedding. I was genuinely touched until she sent us our wedding prep kits. Inside mine, a diet plan, a motivational water bottle, and a note that said, let's all look snatched for the big day. You got this, bicep emoji. I was floored. I'm a size 12, healthy, active, and not at all interested in losing weight for anyone, much less to fit into her aesthetic. Why, you're size 12? I mean, not that it really matters what size you are, but arguably it is even more crazy that she's asking you as someone who is a size 12, healthy and active, to lose weight. It would still be just as crazy if you were heavier, but that is even more deranged. I mean, they're both not great, but you know what I mean here. I texted her privately, trying to be civil. Hey, I'm not comfortable being handed a diet plan. I'd rather not be in the bridal party if my appearance is an issue. She responded, oh my god, don't be so sensitive. I gave one to all the girls. It's about looking cohesive, not shaming anyone. Except, turns out only I and one other bridesmaid, who's also mid-size, got that version of the kit. I bowed out, and now I'm being labelled the dramatic one in our group chat. She even told mutual friends I, quote, quit over a water bottle. So, am I overreacting for standing up for myself and saying no? No, you're not. You did the exact right thing. This woman is a disgrace. I mean, as a guy, I'm not entirely sure what denotes each size, if this is accurate or not. But, and again, this isn't the point of like, it doesn't matter how big somebody is or small they are if you're giving them a weight loss program. There's the fact that this is, and again, this might not be right, but just on this random website, this is a size 12 woman. It's like, that is extremely healthy. Arguably the healthiest a woman's body can look. I mean, she looks great. Why on earth do you want someone to lose weight there? And again, I need to reiterate, it would have been the same. It would have been just as bad if somebody was heavier, but this just makes like zero sense to me. I can sort of understand if you were just a horrible person, you were like, oh, I want you to be there, but you're too fat. So can you lose some weight? Like, that's horrible, but I can like, one part of me can understand that somebody would think that like that. I mean, obviously it's ridiculous, but still, it just doesn't make any logical sense. What are you asking? Crazy anyway. Well done for not going. Okay, time for our last post of this episode, and congratulations to you if you've listened to this and watched this the whole way through up to this point, because I've just seen there's an update to the previous dog story, an update to the dog sitting fiasco. OP says, I finally got in contact with the dog's owner after 4 to 5 hours of no response. Her initial reaction was to tell me to put a cone on her dog while I was at work and to not leave her unsupervised unless I was working. I let her know that would not be happening. Her dog was extremely stressed, and if she was left unattended, she could consume hazardous materials and possibly die. I told her I could not watch the dog 24/7 until she returned, and I told her that either family or the vet needs to take her in until the trip is over and the wall can be repaired. She showed the photos I sent to her mum and sister, who were there in the hotel room with her, who all chimed in agreement with me. That was a serious hazard. The dog could die. It's a wonder she didn't burn the place down, etc. Her mum said she knew an electrician, and her sister said that her husband wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. I told her I'd had to look through the cabinets to find her vet's information, called them, and then called their emergency vet partner to get some sort of guidance from a professional. Oh, sorry, I think I've just realized that I misinterpreted earlier. OP is dog sitting at this person's house, right? Okay, I understand now. So I suppose the dog isn't doing damage to your own property, OP, but again, that doesn't really matter. It's more about the fact that the dog could genuinely cause serious damage to itself. And then again, yeah, the property of the person that you're looking after, their dog. I suppose my question though is, if this is happening when OP is there, or like looking after the dog, surely this is happening when the dog's actual owner is at work or, you know, around just generally as well. Like, why has this not happened before? Or maybe the owner works from home. I don't know. It's a bad situation overall. Anyway, OP continues. She had me put her dog on camera for 10 minutes so she could talk to her. The dog was not amused, and I was so tired of the baby talk. She kept calling her a brave little girl for mummy, and I was so over it. She thanked me so many times for going above and beyond for her precious baby pup cup and told me to keep the $200. I'm going to have to drop the dog off at the owner's uncle's house tomorrow at 11 a.m. but he will keep her until the vacation is over. She sent me a list of things she needs me to take with her, but at least I won't have to worry about the dog anymore. Thank you for all the support. This has genuinely been the worst pet sitting experience I've ever had, and I will not be doing it for anyone ever again. And I do not blame you, but yes, thank goodness that is over. What a palaver. Am I overreacting for getting upset with how my ex speaks to my 10-year-old daughter? Let's have a look at this. Hey, what's up, baby girl? What's up? What's up? Not, hi, daddy? Wow. I was saying that because you said, what's up? Sorry. Well, you haven't called me in a long time. Want to call? Don't worry about it. Oh, okay. I want you to want to call me, Charlie. You completely disconnected with me and it's not working for me. You better figure it out, buddy. Okay, I'll call you after dinner. I have to eat now. Yeah, pretty weird. Let's just remember that she is 10 years old. You're not overacting at all here. That is strange. I'm going to be honest, at one point with the, I want you to want to call me, Charlie, and like putting all this blame, like saying you've completely disconnected with me and it's not working on your 10-year-old daughter is crazy. Yeah, this guy has got issues. Am I overreacting by ending a friendship because his girlfriend read our conversations? Okay, interesting stuff. Hey, what's up? I know how you are. Please try not to freak out. Okay, well, you're being cryptic and that's pretty weird, so spit it out. My girlfriend and I argued after we were texting about the trip, and she said she was uncomfortable with you being there and uncomfortable with our friendship. Ooh. Interesting. Also gave OP 21 minutes to respond before sending question mark. Pretty impatient. Sorry, I'm at work, OP replied. Why would I freak out? That's a weird thing to say. Anyway, right now I'm at work and I don't really have the time or space to have this conversation. I should be home at around 7ish, or just text it, but I may not be able to answer right away. Up to you. That's disappointing. I really wanted to have this conversation and get this sorted. Then you should have texted me after 5 p.m. You know I'm at work. What do you want me to do? You know I've got intake interviews till 5. I can't text while I'm interviewing families. This conversation about your girlfriend isn't urgent. It can wait a few hours. I'm trying to talk to you about this. I don't want to be caught in the middle or have to choose between you two. Look, I understand that you're in an uncomfortable position right now, but right now, I can't give you the attention this conversation requires. I have to prepare for an intake at 3 p.m. Hang in there. We'll talk later. It's already pretty weird how needy your friend is, OP. Not sure about that. But anyway, here we go. Sorry to dump this on you. It's happening now. She thinks there's something going on between us. We argued. I told her there's nothing going on between us. We've just been friends for years. But she says she doesn't believe me. She said she wanted to see our messages, and I tried to argue and tell her you're very private, but she said that I shouldn't have anything to hide. I'd forgotten all about our conversations about your family, and she saw all of it and took screenshots of our conversations and sent them to herself. So now she doesn't trust me and she wants me to cut you off. I'm really sorry for all the pain that's yet to come, and that will weigh heavily on me. Ali, say something. You're killing me here. And then OP replied, there's really nothing to say. What a gross invasion of my privacy. Screenshots of my private conversations about my family, of the abuse I went through. Oh no. And you let it happen. You let her read through those messages. Screw the both of you. You're a spineless POS. You both, and then the message cuts off here, but it's obviously a lot longer. You both disgust me, I presume, is what happened, etc, etc, etc. But wow. Letting your girlfriend read through someone else's trauma without their permission is absolutely ridiculous, just because your girlfriend is insecure and thinks that something's going on between her boyfriend and another girl. Absolutely insane. Anyway, the guy continued, I screwed up, but can you at least try to see it from my side? You can be understanding and clear the air so everything works for everyone. That's all I want. You both mean a lot to me. She's already read everything. She knows nothing is happening between us. She's willing to talk things out and meet you. You're not... Okay, well, that's crazy. And then finally, you're not even going to try after everything we've been through? Again, sort of putting it back on OP when you're the one that screwed up. Like, you've screwed up massively. Your girlfriend's pretty mental. So now that she's read everything, seen there's nothing going on, and is actually like, oh, I've actually now read all about my boyfriend's friend's trauma. Yeah, now I want to see them and clear the air. Crazy. Again, are you overreacting? No, I'd be unbelievably angry and just feel so let down, and like my lack of trust in one of my best friends, I presume, just yeah, very prevalent. I just don't think I could trust you again. Am I overreacting? My husband changed the PIN on his phone before his hospital procedure. Oh, interesting. Okay. My husband was admitted to the hospital for health issues. He's young, but was diagnosed with heart failure. A few days ago, he had some chest pains and low blood pressure. I told him he needed to go in, and at 4 a.m. admitted. The doctor decided a procedure that would put him under was needed for answers. He had to leave his phone and belongings. His phone rang while he was out, and I missed it. So I went to check to see who called, and when trying to put in the PIN, got the error that the PIN was incorrect. I didn't expect that because the PIN has been the same for 2 years. Am I overreacting and overthinking this PIN change? It was the same PIN 2 nights ago, and now I'm worried that something is happening behind my back. Sure, I know I need to talk to him, but due to the circumstances, I'll need to wait a while until he is stable again. It's just weird, you know? Now, we've had issues with his infidelity in the past prior to marriage. I did forgive him. Please be kind. Maybe I'm just a mixture of nerves, lack of sleep, and stress. I love him, and I'm truly worried about his health. We have kids, so there is a lot going on in our life. Thank you in advance. Now, this one is really tough. Up until you said, OP, that you've had infidelity or he has had infidelity issues in the past, I was sort of on his side because I don't like the idea of knowing your partner's PIN code or like feeling the need to have access to their phone and stuff. It's just like, it's just weird. I think once you start going down that road, you know, it's not good. You've got to be able to trust each other enough to not need to know each other's PIN codes or, you know, phone passwords, etc., etc. So until that point, I was like, I don't really think you should have his passcode in the first place. However, now that I see the infidelity stuff, I get it. That was probably one of the things that you talked about after him cheating in the past, saying, okay, look, I'll get back with you, but I'm going to need your phone password, etc., which makes sense to me. The fact that this has come just a day or so, or maybe even on the day of this operation, is very interesting. And I'm trying to work out other reasons as to why it may have come about in the past couple of days because of this operation. Maybe it is just a coincidence and he'd already changed it. But the fact that you checked it 2 nights ago means that it probably wasn't. I'm inclined to potentially give him the benefit of the doubt and say that, you know, he's going into this operation. He doesn't want anyone to be able to access his phone. But then I don't know why he would think that anyone would access his phone other than you, who knows his PIN. I don't know. I think, to be honest, it might just be a coincidence and something else might have happened. The thing to do is obviously have a conversation. But guys, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think is going on here? What do the people say? Someone has just said, after his procedure, you need to be on the same page about everything. Okay, my mum just died last month and literally the fact that we had her PIN was the most important thing ever. Oh, okay, right. Bills, accounts, things as simple as Netflix. Fair enough. Fair enough. That makes sense. And actually, now that I think about it, I think that my parents do know each other's PINs. They just would never go on each other's phones. It's an absolute must for married people. Yeah, okay. Maybe you should know each other's PINs, but you just don't go on their phone. Before a major surgery, I'd be making sure my spouse had my password in case anything went wrong and they needed access to my stuff. Now that is a great point that I hadn't thought of. Yes, if anything, you should get the password if you didn't have it before. Not that the password should be changed now. That actually does look very dodgy. So yeah, maybe it's less coincidence. Maybe it's the fact that he knows he's going into this operation. Anything could happen, and then you may well need to have access to his phone afterwards, and there's stuff on there that he doesn't want you to see. But then again, wouldn't you be able to see it anyway 2 days before? I'm not sure. Maybe he would think that, you know, he's fine. He's got his phone the majority of the time. There's not going to be enough time for you to go on his phone and look through it properly. But if something went wrong in this surgery, then obviously there would be, and maybe at that point you would find things out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. As I said, let me know in the comments down below. Am I overreacting by being upset and crying after finding out my husband microwaved my breast milk? What a weird title. I went back to work this week after maternity leave, and my husband was in charge of watching our 3-month-old over the weekend. Leaving her has been incredibly emotional for me. I have never been away from her for more than a couple of hours, and going back to work has been stressful and tearful. I've spent the last 3 months building a stash of frozen breast milk that I'm immensely proud of. It's taken an insane amount of effort, collecting milk, eating well, staying hydrated, dealing with the physical toll, all to make sure she has what she needs. Before going back to work, I showed my husband exactly how to thaw the milk properly in warm water. We even practiced it together. I made it very clear that microwaving breast milk was not an option, as the CDC warns against it due to hotspots and potential nutrient loss. He agreed not to microwave it. Tonight, we were giving our daughter the last of my freshly pumped milk when I saw my husband take the bottle out of the microwave. I asked if he'd been doing that all weekend. He said yes. I immediately started crying. You can never microwave breast milk. I told you this. I felt so completely disrespected. All the time, effort and physical sacrifice I put into that milk, he had literally done the one thing I asked him not to do. Instead of acknowledging it, he got defensive. Why do you always have these crazy freaking reactions? Him calling me crazy sent me over the edge. He put the baby down and I cooled off. When he came back, his justifications were, Google said it was fine. I only did it for a few seconds and I mixed it to make sure there were no hotspots. I read a study that said it doesn't lose nutrients unless overheated, and I used a thermometer to make sure I didn't. I told him that none of that matters. I explicitly asked him not to microwave it, and he did it anyway. His arrogance that he thinks he knows better than the CDC and literally every source is angering me, that he went against my wishes, disregarded my effort, and then doubled down when I was already emotionally drained. He doesn't get why I'm upset, but I feel completely disrespected and empty after that. Am I overreacting? Absolutely not. The science, the research, what is actually best, etc., etc., it doesn't actually matter at all, because what's happened is he's gone against your wishes and your desires. And he's done it in secret as well and just thought, you know what? Yeah, I could thaw it out like my wife said, but I can't be bothered. Putting it in the microwave is just easier, so I'm going to do that. So who cares if the CDC says it's fine or not? Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. He's just gone against everything you've said, and that is really poor. I mean, look, the top comment here says exactly that. I would say this is less about the milk and more about him doing something he said he wouldn't do. You made a simple request and he explicitly went against that and didn't care. Is this something he does often? And that's the question. Because if it is, or if it's going to be, then obviously that is a major problem. And yeah, once somebody does this once, you can't help but think that it's probably going to happen again. I mean, what might happen the next time? He goes on a work retreat. You say, please promise you're not going to cheat on me. He says, I definitely won't, I promise. And then he does it anyway. Obviously, a bit of an exaggeration there, but you know, there's levels to this. He's already on that ladder now. It's not looking good. Okay, and let's leave this episode, this first Am I Overreacting episode, with this final post. Guys, before I get into this one, leave me a comment down below. What do you think about this subreddit? Have you enjoyed this episode? Do you want to see more like this? Also, what do you think of the format? I'm on screen over here. The text is over there. Crazy, I know. What do you think about seeing my face throughout the entirety of the video? Maybe for some of you it's pretty shocking and actually quite disgusting. Maybe others out there are absolutely loving it. That's up to you. You let me know down below. Am I overreacting for leaving my birthday dinner after my fiance announced a fake pregnancy? So, last night was my birthday dinner, just a chill night with family and friends. Everything was great until my fiance stands up to give a special toast. Out of nowhere, he goes, "We're so excited to announce, we're expecting." What? I just stared at him like he's lost his mind because I'm not pregnant. He's smiling, my mum's crying, his family is clapping, and I'm just sitting there like, what? I finally ask, what are you talking about? And this man with a straight face says he's been manifesting it and it's only a matter of time. I was done. I got up, I left the restaurant. He followed me, all mad, saying I embarrassed him and should have just gone with it for the night. Now his family is blowing up my phone saying I ruined a beautiful moment. Like, what even was that? Was I really overreacting? Okay. No commentary needed on this one. Am I overreacting? My fiance spent 600 on gacha. 600 what? is what I want to know. If it's something like dollars, then Jesus. Okay. Stop calling me. We need to talk right now. Pick up now. You're not being fair at all. I explain my boundaries to you, but you're not respecting them. This is exactly what somebody says is abusive about you. You spent $600 on our credit card on a freaking game. Oh my gosh, it was $600. I explained it already to you. $600 for 2 virtual characters you don't need without asking. When we are paycheck to paycheck, that card was for emergencies with the Civic. And then your fiance just sends you a Genshin Impact picture. Really good. You told me you wanted her too, but you aren't happy for me, LMFAO. Actually, I'm done. I'm a 29-year-old man. I'm allowed to make purchases without needing your permission. That is an abusive dynamic. Somebody explained that very clearly to me. Yeah, that's true, but not on a shared credit card when you're paycheck to paycheck and you haven't asked your fiance about it. Then it's slightly different. Yes, I said I wanted Farina. I didn't say we should spend hundreds to get constellations. You are a freaking addict. You already spent all our Christmas money on it. You're snooping into your finances purchase. You should take a look at yourself. Okay, maybe there's 2 sides to this. And then just an emoji with a middle finger. This is a shared card that I set up for emergencies, and you went behind my back. Why don't you tell someone else about your gambling addiction to video game characters? Actually, someone else told me all about your coercion, and I believe you're a narcissist personality. That is why you're continuing to try and control me and control my financial decision making. You know that these are my values, and I've had a Farina as my wallpaper forever. I refuse to be verbally abused for being myself. I am battling anxiety, and you do not care at all. I'm just not sure that's the time and the place to pull out that card, the anxiety card. Does having anxiety and battling it, which is a very legitimate thing, and I know a lot of people suffer with anxiety out there. Power to you, seriously. Does that mean though that you go and spend $600 on a video game character? And I also don't even know, like, what actually have you bought here? What exactly is it that's been bought? Is it like an in-game? Oh no, it is actually a virtual character. There we go. Unbelievable. But the point being, yeah, you can't just say, oh, I'm battling anxiety, therefore I spent $600 without asking you. Not really how that works. I do not want to get married to you, OP's fiance continues. I'm not talking on the phone. I email screenshots of my appointment tomorrow. Thank you for giving me a horrible anxiety attack and ruining my night. And no, I didn't do a freaking thing with Farina yet because of your calls. Alright, I'm going to call Capital One and dispute the charge. Your account is going to get banned, OP says. Try it. You'll lose me forever. I'm going to Scottsdale for the night. Stop calling me for 12 hours and we can talk then. Good night. Will you please answer my mum? Please? Wow. So your fiance has got his mum to then call you about this. Interesting. I apologize for my reaction. As I said, my anxiety is bad today and I have to do better. I love you. Where are we? I apologize for my reaction. As I said, my anxiety is bad today and I have to do better. I love you. You don't need to dispute the charges. I'll get you the money soon. Someone can spot me $600 tonight. So can you text him your Venmo? Anxiety really bad. Please. I'm just not sure about that. Like, it's one thing having anxiety, fair enough. It's another going $600 into debt with one of your friends because you're addicted to video games. That's crazy. So to answer the question, is OP overreacting? Obviously not. This is just ridiculous. Am I overreacting for not quitting the gym because my boyfriend told me to? Interesting. Okay, text from your boyfriend. Where are you? I'm at the gym. I'm nearly done. You're going quite often now. Babe, I've been going 3 times a week for ages now. Nothing has changed. But I prefer if you stopped going. What? That is not happening. Okay, first of all, 3 times a week to the gym is not that many times at all. I'm sorry, it's not. Like, if you're an active person and you like the gym, a lot of people go more than 3 times a week. I mean, even I go 3 times a week to the gym these days, and I am scrawny, and my main thing is not going to the gym. So I don't think that going 3 times is loads. Now, fair enough. I mean, it's a very solid amount, so don't get me wrong. But it's not as if like you're going 7 times a week every day, which also, in my opinion, would be fine. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with being active at all, and then just like not giving your boyfriend any attention or ignoring him or anything like that. But I mean, I'd still say if my partner was doing that, fair play. Get fit. Like, there's not much better you can do than go to the gym, be healthy. Anyway, but why? Are you craving attention? I give you loads of it. Well, who would I be craving attention off of? I mean, that's a very good question. Those guys you work out with? Wait, blank and blank? I was working out before they even joined in, so how did you come to that conclusion? You said you were fine with me having friends that are guys. I am. So, what are you trying to say? So I want you to quit. Your stomach is flat and you've grown your glutes. What more do you want? Oh, God. Maybe like the gym isn't just about, you know, getting to a finish point and being then happy with your body, and maybe you weren't before. Like, I've started going to the gym. I've not seen like crazy improvements in my body, but I enjoy it. Like I enjoy feeling a bit stronger. Like, if you don't know, I've always been into more sort of cardio based sport, like football, tennis, paddle. I do a lot of running, for example. You guys will probably know I've done a couple of marathons, but the gym's great, and there's no end point to the gym. You can't like complete to the gym. It's something that people love doing, or you know, it just, yeah, they enjoy it. It's good for them, etc. As I've already said. Yeah. What more do you want is an interesting question. What do you think will happen if I stop going? Exactly. Like, you'll lose all the gains you've probably made. No one wants that, do they? Oh, can you just freaking quit? It's starting to really irritate me. I can stop going as often with them guys if you want. No. I just want you to fully stop. Are you overreacting? Obviously not. This is extremely strange and controlling behavior. I mean, to be fair, you've said, like, are you overreacting? You haven't really overreacted, I would say. Like, I think that you know, you haven't really reacted at all, is the point. I think you'd be well within your rights to go a lot more on this, be a lot stronger and be angry and be like, what are you on about? You're asking me to stop doing something which is so good for me. I do it 3 times a week, probably because you're just jealous. I don't know. Probably because you're controlling. And then I thought for a period of time it might be because she's doing it with other guys and he was just really insecure and jealous. But actually, no, it's not that. He just doesn't want you to go at all. He doesn't want you to better yourself. Maybe he doesn't go to the gym and he's like, well, my girlfriend is getting fit and looking better. Is she going to level up? I don't know. Maybe she should. It sounds like she probably should. But I would take that as an incentive to get in the gym yourself. Get fit. There are literally 0 downsides. But yeah, are you overreacting? Obviously not. Am I overreacting? My boyfriend forgot about an important event. Oh, goodness me. Didn't you forget something? OP asks. Did I? What did I forget? You really don't know? What did I forget? Never mind. And then just the question marks. Now, if you've been in this position before, you will know, like, the anxiety, the sort of the panic. You're like, oh my goodness me, have I genuinely forgot something here that it's just passed me by? It's the worst thing in the world when, like, your SO is like, all right, today's a day. Ready? And you're like, yeah, what for again? But on this occasion, it's St. Patrick's, and you haven't asked me to be your Patrick. So, rude. Very good. Very good. I actually hate you. Mean. That is so good. That's the sort of, like, relationship you want. Good chat right there. You can tell this guy was panicking. He was like, he was checking his calendar. He was checking his emails. He was checking texts, everything. He was like, what could I possibly have forgotten? And yeah, you gotta ask your girlfriend to be your Patrick, man. Come on. Am I overreacting for saying okay? Well, this is an interesting one because this is about dating and like first dates and stuff. And I'm actually like, I'm dating at the moment, guys. I don't know how much I should say, but I mean, like, I've been on a few dates, let's just say, over the past few months. So this is interesting. And dating etiquette, especially like when you don't like someone, or how you sort of let someone down gently and vice versa, obviously, is an interesting topic, especially with like online dating where you don't know the person beforehand. So here we go. This person has said, hey, so I had a lovely time with you, but I don't think you're really my type. You're really outgoing and charismatic, but I just didn't feel a spark. That's a nice message. I think like the messages that you send after a date and you're just not quite sure like how to put it, you might just not be attracted to them. You might think something's missing, whatever it is. Just say something polite like that, like a nice compliment as well. It doesn't really matter. You're probably not going to see them again if it's like an online date. So absolutely fine. OP replies, all right, take care, which is a very reasonable reply, I would say. What would I say if someone said that to me and I liked them or I didn't like them? I'd probably say, no worries, all good. Like genuinely, I wouldn't say, I would say along the lines of, all right, take care, but in my verbiage, I suppose, what I would usually say. But this person then says, that's it? No comment on how I was? Does it matter? You don't sound interested in taking this further. Yeah, but I put in some solid effort on this date, and I acknowledged how you were as a person. What a huge red flag this is. Oh my goodness. So you want me to acknowledge that you were engaged in conversation? Well, thank you for being a nice date. Not when you put it like that. Honestly, that's just rude. I made time to have this date happen, and you're making it sound like you didn't have a good time. What? I also left work an hour early to get ready for the date. I don't understand. I was going to say I had a nice time, but you said how you're not interested, so I just didn't see the point. Exactly. Like, you know, normally I'd be the one to message first after a date and say, like, if I had a nice time, I wanted to see them again, and I would say, had a really nice time, I'd like to see you again, be free next week, whatever. But if they already message and say, I had a lovely time with you, but I don't think you're really my type or whatever, I'll just say, all right, no worries. Go again, on to the next. I wouldn't say, oh, that's a shame. I really thought you were really charismatic and cute and really actually quite sexy as well. But that's, I can't even speak because I'm like, what actually would you say? Apart from, yeah, no worries, all good. Let's see what happens next. Very interesting. It's just the tone of your message. I still said how I had a nice time and you didn't reciprocate appropriately. Why does it matter when you're not going to see them again anyway? Okay, firstly, I did say take care, and like, why does it matter when ultimately you're not interested? Exactly, you're the one that's not interested. You're not getting the point. It's like you know now, and you're a completely different person. A good riddance on my part. Maybe this is how you are in real life, and you faked your personality for the date. Why are you quiet now? This person has said this 1 minute, actually less than a minute after sending that message. Yeah, are you overreacting? No, absolutely not, because you haven't really reacted once again. Secondly, if anyone's had a good riddance on anyone's part, it's UOP, not this weird individual. Am I overreacting? Text my boyfriend sent someone. Now, I normally do not go through my boyfriend's phone, but him and I have our Gmails linked. Earlier today, I got an email notification that said he had an unopened message from someone with a suggestive username. These texts were from last month, but we've been together since November 2023. He also tells me he doesn't want me to pierce my face, like the girl in chat has done. Also, when I first confronted him about it, he didn't say anything, so I went to the bedroom. I texted him, as shown, and he left me on read. I personally wouldn't consider this cheating, but it makes me feel really weird. Definitely something that I think I need to talk to him about. Am I overreacting? Okay, let's have a look at the screenshot here. So, this is from your boyfriend's phone, and he has said to the girl, I love your piercings. Thank you, they replied. Interestingly, he is saying to another girl, I love your piercings, when he's asked you not to get any, right? He doesn't like piercings, but he does. He doesn't want you to pierce your face, but he likes piercings on this girl's face. Well, that is just objectively odd. And then, yeah, you're weird. Nothing to say at all, left on read. I don't know. Like, you could say that giving a compliment is completely fine. And like complimenting another girl, whatever, it's not the end of the world, is it? Like, maybe you'd be overreacting if it was just that. But the way he's acted around it, and the fact that he doesn't like piercings on you, or specifically has asked you not to get a piercing, but then complimented this girl's piercing, yes, that makes it weird. And you're not overreacting, I don't think. And to be honest, I don't think anyone in this series so far has overreacted, which is a little bit concerning, because so far the subreddit r/AmIOverReacting has a 100% no success rate, I suppose. Maybe next time, if you guys enjoyed this one, I'll find some people that actually were overreacting. I'll find a group of posts where the person was definitely overreacting and we can laugh at them. Am I overreacting? This is my response to my mum disowning me because I'm gay. Sorry for all the texts, but this was from earlier today and I'm honestly mentally destroyed. I'm used to her diatribes and lectures about me changing my ways to become less of a sinner, but I was born like this. Why can't she understand that? This all came to a head recently when I told her that I won't be going to a conversion camp. There's nothing to fix. This is me. She became hysterical, which isn't a new thing. She locked me in my room for a day, and eventually I was able to get out and get my phone. I texted this to try and resolve things, but I feel like I made it worse. I am so screwed. I'll be kicked out on Thursday, and I'm terrified. Let's get into these texts. Okay, so OP texts his mum. Can we talk about earlier? I just feel like you're not actually listening. And I know Sarah tried to explain it to you because I think maybe you think I'm being rude, but I swear I didn't mean it like that. I do want you in my life and I want your insight, but when you tell me that me being gay is a choice basically every day, it begins to really destroy my psyche. I hope you understand. I'm saying this from love. I hope you understand that it is a choice and you've made this choice, so you have to lie in the bed. On Thursday, you're out. You're kicking me out on my 18th birthday. Are you serious? Why don't we just talk? The time for talking is over, Edgar. I don't want to hear anymore. You don't listen. I gave you options, places you can go to become normal again. You don't talk to me. You don't listen. You ignored what father said. He suggested 3 places and camps. I will pay. Yeah, like you paying is gonna make your son want to go to conversion camp. Oh my goodness. That is so effed up. You think a conversion camp is gonna change how I was born? You're my mum. Why don't you freaking love me? I do love you, but I hate how the devil has taken root in you, and I won't be witness to it anymore. I have to worry about my soul, and I cannot risk it any further. So, you are out on Thursday. And where do I go? You never let me get a job. How do I survive? Do you even care? Army, toughen up. Do what your cousin did. Beg. It's time for reality and to live with the consequences of your actions. Pray every day. Pray is spelled wrong, by the way. Just want to put that out there. Maybe you'll be fixed and this will be good again. Until then, and I say this with love, I hope you truly suffer and experience hardships. It will make you realize how your actions and not listening to me have led you astray from God. And do not talk to your sister anymore. She has a chance still. If I see a message from my monitoring app, you will have a real problem. Deja a esa niña pura en paz. No intentes corromperla. Jeez. Some harsh words there. Some really harsh words. Leave this girl in peace. Don't try to corrupt her. Am I overreacting? I paid $45 for a cake that's not even the right color. So I wanted to get my best friend a nice birthday cake. I normally make my friends and family cakes myself, as in the past I haven't really had money to get one made professionally. So this year I found a bakery in town that has good reviews and I checked out their Facebook profile. Most of their stuff looked really nice, so I felt like I was making a safe choice going with them. I said I wasn't picky about the color, just not a bluish green. I even gave some examples of the color I was looking for. I got the cake today and it's borderline teal. I didn't say anything in the store because I was nervous and thought maybe it was bad lighting. Also, I really just didn't want to be one of those people. But now I'm home and looking at it and I want to cry because I paid $45 for this and I can't even think of how to fix it. My other friends say I should try to get a refund, but I feel like I should have done that earlier before paying for the cake. I'm so frustrated, but I don't know if it's bad enough to warrant making a fuss about it. Originally, the cake was supposed to have the gold accents, but she told me it would be $25 extra. So I was like, that's fine, just use a lighter shade of the same green. But it's not even the same shade. Okay, so here we go. Here are the texts from OP to the store, the cake store, I suppose. All right, so she's saying what she sort of wants here. This rough green color. I'm not super worried about the color being spot on, as long as it's a deeper earthy or sage green. Just avoid a green that's too blue. Okay, and obviously teal is, yeah, relatively blue. They say, got it. What day do you want to pick it up? And here is the cake itself. First of all, I'm going to be honest, it doesn't look great anyway. Like it actually looks terrible. Am I allowed to say that? I don't know. I feel like this design, whatever this is genuinely awful. I mean, the stars look nice. This is terrible. The handwriting. Now, I know, like, cake shops, they're so good at doing that same handwriting. They're very talented people normally, right? This just doesn't look great. I mean, the E's are almost bordering on I's. And the main point is, that isn't green. That isn't like a deep earthy green, right? That is a teal. So yeah, just not what you asked for at all. And I think actually, yeah, this picture shows it. Okay, to be fair, it looks better from this angle. But again, if you were to say, is that green or blue? I genuinely lean towards blue. It looks like sort of ocean blue, which is obviously greeny, but I mean, that is not like an earthy or deeper green. I think you're well within your rights to get a refund, and I agree with your friends. I mean, people in the comments are saying it's for sure blue-green. I'd be annoyed. She could have also dotted the dang I in 19. Yeah, I know. Like, look at this. That 19 is shocking. Sorry, the top of that is awful. I'd get a refund on that, even if the cake was dark green or like earthy green. That just looks so B-Tech. No offense, but it does. I don't think you're overreacting. You've paid good money for a product that you haven't really received. I'd get a refund. Am I overreacting at my son, who is a 15-year-old, for grossing out my daughter, who is 11, on purpose? Immediately, I'm going to say, reading this title, potentially. It's just a sort of thing that siblings do, especially a boy to a younger sister. I mean, I say that as someone with a younger sister. We'll see what happens. But my initial answer here is potentially you are overreacting, but we'll see just what grossing out means. Our son has recently been doing gross stuff to our daughter to get a rise out of her, and she really hates it. It started when she gagged when someone passed gas in a small room, and he thought it was funny. And now he's periodically tried to fart in her face, hold the doggy bag up to her nose when walking the dog, and huffed in her face in the morning without brushing his teeth, causing her to gag a lot. Now, at the age of 15, I'm just not quite sure about this. Like, 15 is not young. I know he's like a silly little teenager, but still, surely you've like grown up a little bit. Anyway, he thinks it's funny, but she really hates it and wants him to stop. He knows this, and I've told him this after the first 2 incidents, but he still did it again. He says, I'm not hurting her, it's just a smell, it's funny, and she needs to get over it. In response, I told him, next time this happens, I'm going to make you smell something you won't be able to handle, and you're not going to get to stop smelling it just because you hate it or it makes you feel queasy. He asked, what could you make me smell that's so bad? And I said, you don't want to find out. You don't give her any warning when you do these things, so you aren't receiving one either. I'm a vet tech though, and have more than adequate means to follow through on this. I've got to say, this is great parenting in my opinion. Giving your son a taste of his own medicine, I think, is the perfect way to get him to understand the effect he's having. Really good stuff. Anyway, he sort of rolled his eyes and said, whatever, but it did make him stop for a while. Until yesterday morning, when he burped in her face again and laughed about it. I simply told him, all right, I'll be carrying out the punishment we'd discussed. I let my daughter take a mini vacation with my husband to get away from him in the meantime, to a local hotel and water park, while I prepare to administer his punishment. Just need a couple more dogs at work who need expressions. I'm not even quite sure what that means, but it's in air quotes. So yeah, we'll see. After talking with others about it though, I just wonder if it's too harsh a punishment. My husband fully supports it, and so do 3 of my co-workers, but 2 of them say it's too harsh, and that a smell this bad is way disproportionate to burps and farts. I said that everyone has a different tolerance to these things. If he repeatedly violates his sisters, he needs to realize what it's like to be on the flip side. I agree. I told my husband I was having second thoughts, and I wondered if it was too harsh of a punishment, but he said it's not undeserved, and you have to follow through on your promise. So am I overreacting? As I said during this, I don't think you are at all. I actually think it's bordering on phenomenal parenting for all the reasons I said. Maybe this is what it is, because I don't really know what expressions means. I've never had a dog, so I don't really know. I'm not going to read that out loud, but that sounds awful. And also the thing is, you know, your son OP has used dog poo in the past with his sister, so it has to be a worse smell than that. But goodness me, let's see what the rest of the comments are saying. Does anyone know exactly what it is? I mean, I'm inclined to believe it probably is what that person said, but yeah, okay, he deserves some punishment. Wow. I mean, guys, get in the comments down below if you've ever smelt that before. How bad is it? Rate it from 1 to 10. I can't wait to read the comments. Am I overreacting? Girl sent suggestive messages. I unfriended. Okay, interesting. For context, this is the 3rd convo I'd literally ever had with her. She's sent me multiple friend requests over the past like year and a half, to the point that I thought I must know her, and I just forgot meeting her. I met people all the time through my old job, so sometimes I know someone without realizing it right away. I asked my friends and family if they recognized her, and everyone said no, but at this point I had gaslit myself into believing that I must know her somehow. First convo, she tells me how pretty I am, and we chat about general things. I ask how we know each other, and she replies with, well, I'm not actually sure we do, but I feel like we must have met, which is weird, but whatever. Second convo, she talks about how co-workers are always flirting with her because of her chest. I commiserate because I've also got tig old biddies. This is the third convo. I unfriended her as soon as she sent that stuff. I always had a weird feeling, and this confirmed that for me. But it's kind of subtle, so I'm just looking for confirmation that I'm not overreacting. Hey, what's up? Just got home. What about you? Watching the kids and reading. Haha. Sounds like a blast, lol. I like it, lol. Well, what are you reading? Now, the interesting thing here is that you are having a conversation with somebody who it seems like you're actually good friends with. It's a bit strange. Like if someone that I wasn't sure if I knew or not messaged me saying like, hey, and like, what you doing? I don't think I'd answer. I'd be like, I don't know you. Even though you think you know them. If you weren't sure, I'd be like, well, just not entertaining this conversation. Anyway, what are you reading? I'm reading Bad Dreams in the Night by Adam Ellis. I don't usually read graphic novels, but this one is really good and I love Adam Ellis. Plus, my fiance got it for me as a gift. How was your day? Again, I don't really know why you're asking these questions, but whatever. Freaking busy, man. Oof, that's always stressful. It really is, for sure. I'm so tired too. Well, you should get some rest. This is such a boring combo as well. No offense, OP, if you're watching, but I'm actually yawning. I should, but there's some stuff on my mind. Do you want to talk about it? Again, not quite sure why you're asking that, but fair enough. I mean, it's not bad stuff. Oh, like exciting? In a way. I don't want to run you off if I say it though. Well, I'm in a sexual mood, lol. Alright, well, have fun with that, I guess. I'm sorry. Sure, well, I'm gonna go ahead and unfriend you though. I'm pretty sure we're not compatible as friends. Oh, okay, I apologize if I did something wrong. I feel like you're definitely aware of what you did, especially considering I literally just mentioned my fiance. Just super disrespectful. I appreciate the apology, but I doubt its sincerity. Oh no, I wasn't intending anything like that, and I wasn't trying to be disrespectful at all. I can promise you, I wasn't going to ask for stuff or go into detail about what I was going to do. I was just saying the mood I was in. Like, I'm not really like that, but like, I really do apologize. Honestly, I don't buy it. Best of luck to you in your endeavors, though. Well, that might go down as one of the weirdest set of text messages I've ever read. I think you're both weird. Sorry. Maybe OP is just being nice, but again, if you don't know someone, why are you having this conversation? I'm just reading a book. Is that normal? Maybe I'm the weird one. A random person that you don't know if you know messages you on Facebook and you start chatting to them. I'm pretty sure I was told in school not to do that. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Is that weird or not? I mean, there's no doubt about the fact that the person messaging you is obviously very strange. But I'm starting to think that OP is a bit weird as well for entertaining it in the first place. People in the comments are saying you're not overreacting, which I agree with. You don't even know this person. You owe them absolutely nothing. You dealt with the situation well. Yeah, you dealt with the situation well, but only when it arose. Like, you could have stopped this happening in the first place by just not having this conversation. But I don't know. No one actually seems to say that OP's done anything weird. Yeah, maybe I'm just making it up. But yeah, OP says she is a woman. We gain that. Why is no one else saying, like, no one is saying that OP was weird at all. So maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, you guys let me know in the comments down below. Am I overreacting for thinking this is a normal group photo pose? I am a 23-year-old man, and I went to a meet and greet to see some members of a YouTube channel called Donut Media. I went to this meet and greet alone, even though I did invite my SO, who is a 24-year-old woman who was busy during the event, but she said it was okay to go on without her. She asked how the event went, and I sent her this photo, not really thinking much of it. Like, I had about 30 seconds to take a photo and get some signatures on a poster, so with that limited time, I didn't really pre-plan ahead how I was going to pose. I'm naturally a kind of awkward person, and so I defaulted to just having my arm around everyone's shoulder. Anyways, my SO ghosted me out of anger and sadness and said that I was basically crossing the line by putting my arm around the lady to the left of me. I am wearing the blue shirt and the pose they were in, leaning towards me. I managed to discuss it with her after her ghosting stopped, and she expressed that if the roles were reversed, I'd also be upset. But in reality, I'd be happy for her if she got to meet someone that she supports. I don't have any attractions towards anyone, and I don't have anything to hide. It's not like I put my arm around their waist or anything like that. My left arm is blocked by another arm going across everyone's shoulder. Ask away if you have questions, but am I overreacting by saying this is normal and defending myself? Or am I in the wrong for this? Now's the moment you've all been waiting for. Here is the photo. Oh my goodness me. You know what? I see where your SO is coming from. That right there is disgusting. Having your arm around another woman in a very platonic way, posing for a photo. I would never allow it. What is your SO talking about? That's like the most normal photo I've ever seen. And she's not even leaning towards you. If anything, she's leaning forward. I don't know. Crazy how insecure some people are. But I feel like that gives you some good information about who your SO really is. That's pretty controlling, or she's just jealous and, as I said, incredibly insecure. But wow, is this not the most normal photo I've ever seen? Yes. Am I overreacting if I left my boyfriend for this? On Sunday, I, an 18-year-old woman, legal age to drink where I live, went clubbing. And this conversation happened Monday morning. You went clubbing on a Sunday? Well, that is interesting. I wonder what country that is in. Get me there, is what I will say. Now, we haven't spoken since because he, 22-year-old man, wants me to think about what he is mad about. And I just want to break up with him at this point. But I feel like maybe I was being disrespectful towards him, and I'm just at a loss. So, can anyone help me out and tell me if I'd be overreacting if I broke up with him? I included the outfit I wore in the picture, just not on me because no thanks. Okay, I already see where this is going to be going, but yes. Are you awake? Yes. Hi. How was last night? I have so much to tell you. Are you free to call? No. I don't need details. I gathered enough from what you wore. What's that supposed to mean? Question mark. Name, what the F? Is that outfit you posted on your story the one you went out in? Yes. Why? Jesus Christ, it was barely covering you. You look like a whore, to say the least. Why are you speaking to me that way? Because right now, I'm ashamed to be your boyfriend. My girlfriend isn't going to dress like a slag. You're supposed to be representing me. Oh, somehow that last text is the worst of all the ones we've just read. And the bar was pretty high. I'm not representing nobody. I'm my own person. How many men did you let touch up on you? Laughing, crying emoji. You looked like a prawn star. I'm actually fit to rip the hairs out of my head. I'm so angry at you. Goodness me. I'm not talking to you when you're speaking to me like this. No, neither would I. And ladies and gentlemen, here is the outfit. To be honest, yeah, it's a nice outfit. Gonna be honest, I've been to quite a lot of nights out and sort of festivals in my life. Very, very standard outfit. I've seen girls wear a lot worse. Completely fine. Pretty cool outfit, to be fair. I mean, I'd back it. Oh, now that is where I draw the line. Things just got a little bit serious because you're looking at this and you think, okay, some boots. No, that is my issue right there. Bare knee. I would never let my woman show bare knee to another man in public ever. And for that, I think you are no longer in the right. Your boyfriend was right all along. Good for him. I think this comment down below actually sums up what is going on. Honestly, you didn't have to show us the outfit. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. If you had a sweatshirt on, if you had like a trench coat on or a bikini, he responded terribly. I have a rule for myself to not date anyone who wants to comment negatively on what I wear. It's always insecurity or control or both. If you're okay with being with someone like that or working that out with communication or compromise, that's valid. But he spoke so lowly of you. He tore you apart and made accusations purposely to put you down. It's the way he responded that sounds like he didn't want a conversation. He just wanted to make you feel small. I personally feel like we couldn't trust or communicate with each other in the future. Boom. Roasted. What? No, not roasted at all. Just accurate information. Boom. Accurate information. You're not overreacting. I would also break up with him. Partly because I'm not gay, but secondly, because of what he's just said.